All right, I'm gonna do like an introduction, and I'm gonna key you guys in one at a time. Bernard, make sure Eugene has the live link. Eugene just sent me a text, so maybe you could use this time to text him and just copy and paste the live link. Eugene Escoboza. All right, so for everybody else, I'd like to say this. We hear the term the man, the myth, the legend, and we chuckle at it because more often than not, it's overused. But in the classic sense of the term, this fit Ren to a T. Who he was on the court, and in many ways that exceeded the term, but it paled in comparison to the man he was off the court. The man who was considered an intolerable diva by some is regarded as one of the most big-hearted individuals you'll ever meet. He would take his shirt off if you were cold. He would lend you money he does not have. For his funeral, there will be a slew of people to mourn, but for today, we're going to celebrate. And we're going to tell, everyone's allowed one fun story or two or whatever. I want you to share a story about Ren. I wanted to cite that everybody's story about Ren is equally as important. I know some people, this is not a measuring test on who knew him better, but I wanted to salute, I just wanted to name people in particular: Dave Batansis, Hervé, Ken Bassarath, and Pon, who visited him in the hospital when he had his first successful kidney surgery, transplant. He was the one that was there. I know because I worked at New York Hospital. I worked at Weill Cornell, and I was there too. Big up to Terry Stewart, who introduced in the New York Urban. That was fantastic. You guys can use the comment section too to talk to each other if you want. There's a chat section in there. And of course, Bernard Norman, who's been like his biggest rival, most hated adversary, and then at the end, before it was all said and done, um, one of his closest allies. So that's just a personal shout out. I'd like to open up the queue to Bernard first, and then we'll do Rose and George Cassius after them. Bernard, you're on.
Sorry, I had to turn on the mic.
I gotcha.
Man, I can't wrap this up in my head, man. Like this knucklehead is gone. Like I go to Central Park and I yell at him and everything, and what other diva I can do it to besides him? You know, for the years that he's been my biggest nemesis, my villain, and he became my hero, my bud, our diva, our legend. I just he's too young to be gone so quickly. Too young. And I'm just like, I can't fathom that this as I nickname him Chicken Chest, he's gone, you know? That's my that was my chicken chest, he say, "Oh, hey, fat man. Oh, hey, chicken chest." I say, "You still dodging raindrops?" That's how we were, Central Park, man. I mean, remember we used to hang around the greats back then, and now we're the greats, and now we're peeling off, man. Well, why? He's too young to be doing this. And you know what I heard when I was in Central Park last Thursday, I was playing doubles with um I forgot his name already. Well, anyway, I asked about Ren and I wanted to see how he was doing, like what's going on. And these kids that knew him, they was like, well, he was playing in conditions and he has surgeries like every 5 years. And the doctor told him he can't play no more because he needs to relax. And I didn't know that. If I knew it, I would have slapped him in his head. But unfortunately, you know what? To be honest with you, he lived and died for volleyball. Believe it or not.
Yes, he
Believe it
did.
or not.
Yes, he did.
He lived and died for volleyball.
Yeah, I think that's the I think everyone in the chat agrees. This man was. You ever heard the term? He was you're not about that life. He was about that life. And this is a guy that would play with the Queens in Chelsea. He would play with the Harlem people in Central Park. Of course, come to Prospect Park, right? Visit George and whatever. Play on the grass courts there. He played with Taylor Crabb and Taylor Sander and won nationals with God rest his soul, Luis Mendez setting. This is a man that didn't stick to his. You know, how some people are like, I don't want to play with them because I'm too good. Ren was too good for like everybody and played with everybody. Right? I think we can all say that. This is why we have everyone at all levels, at all ages, here. Bern, take. I'll give you another 2 minutes if you wanted to share like a quick Central Park story. Then I'm gonna go to George and Rose.
Well, there was how we first met Ren. It's pretty quick. You know, we both started playing volleyball, and I forgot who he was taught by. I know his name, but I can't remember right now. But we had this little tournament, and we had like amateurs. We were all amateurs back then, and I beat Ren's team. But then Ren was with the referee, a little, and he told the ref that I made a certain play. I think it was a carry or something, I guess, or a set, and made my team lose. And after that, I just became enemies. But see, y'all don't understand. I knew Len. I mean, I said Ren, way before I met all of you guys. We were the actually two, like before I met Justin and everybody else in Central Park. I met Ren before all you guys, and I hated him. And then, of course, years later, Justin, you know, this is one of our greats, he had sat me down next to Ren, and he was like, "What is going on with you two? You've been had this for years. It's just one time you guys just play volleyball together." And I was like, you know, I gave Justin that look like, "Oh, you mother Hubbard," you know. I don't want to curse right now, but you know, and we played together and we lost the game, and I still hated him. But then I ended up loving the chicken chest, you know.
he
And, that's pretty much it.
he
You
would.
know, I don't know what else to say, man.
So before I go to George, I wanted to say because there's so much to say, right? And there's so many people to say it. Ren used to call Bernard Abu, and he would call Ren Jafar. It was one of the funniest things I ever heard, man. Oh my God. Thank you so much, Bern. Bern, I know we could go a half hour more, but I had this really cool feeling, man. George, Cassius, Rose, welcome. Welcome to the show. Oh, welcome to the celebration. George, you guys are up
Thank
next.
you. Go ahead, Rose.
Yeah. Well, I only knew Ren sometimes when he came to tournaments, and you know, actually he came to some memorial tournaments in memory of my son Andrew, and other times I know he played in Central Park, and I was kind of just amazed how you know he stayed at a high level of play, and despite having had those kidney issues, and he was really demanding and outstanding when he was in court, in the court playing. That's the memories I'm like really shocked that he's of this news all of a sudden. So
Yeah.
So I remember Ren, he was the first diver that came to play the Eastern Athletic Club. That was one experience. He was just a personality, very unique, a marvelous player, quick learner, go forward quickly. I remember him playing 2 years ago at Andrew's tournament, and I have two assistants, Yuri and Krill. They both came to me and said, who is that guy? He's giving me such a hard time. I said, let me go find out who they're talking about, although I know who it was. It was Ren. I went to Ren, he said, and you know, it was like nothing ever happened. The minute he saw me, that was the end of whatever arguments there were. My guys were like, how do you know this guy? I said, well, he's been a personality of ours for a long time. Empire State Games, he played with Andrew. They played together, and it was just awesome to watch. He always wanted to get that ball. Set me, Andrew, set me. You know, give me that ball.
Yeah.
And he was just a wonderful personality. We'll miss him. as a human, as a player, and as a friend.
Yeah.
I don't want to take up too much time because you have a lot of people there. So
Well, let's take this time to
thank
talk.
you.
Let's take this time to talk about one of the things you value the most in volleyball. You had an emphasis on like just making sure your platform was straight, making sure your platform was flat. Was there a better platform passer than Ren Osborne? Like I'm sure like I know everyone was like jumping and interrupting and be like, no, there was no prettier platform than that guy. So I wanted to emphasize that with you. Is there something you wanted to say about his platform and like his ability to pass? Since you're a volleyball guy.
Well, and volleyball was just unbelievable. He took to it very quickly.
Yeah.
You know, receiving ball at any open player is difficult if somebody has a good serve.
Right.
He was right there all the time.
Yeah.
His platform was right there. And he'd look you in the eye and say, go ahead, serve me. Go ahead, give it to me.
Yeah. You know, before I go to the next one, I wanted to tell George that Ren would see people like pass with one arm, right? He'd see people hot dog passes, and he would tell me the game looks more beautiful when you do it right. Like everyone's trying to attract attention by like, you know, doing like these poses or whatever. And he says, you know what makes the game exciting? You know what makes people want to watch you? Doing it right. And just watching this beautiful platform, which rivals only that of like Karch Karai, you know, and you know, Burns not too shabby either, but yeah, man, that's the conversation I wanted to have with you, because you always had an emphasis on making sure, you know, you didn't hook your platform, that it was whatever, and it's one of the keen memories I had about you, and of course Eastern Athletic Club and volleyball. Cool, man.
By the way, I remember in the tournament, the last tournament he played in, his words to his players were, you better pass the ball right to me or I'm not setting you. And he stuck to that.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. He wouldn't move. If it wasn't right there, he wouldn't set it. He wouldn't go for the ball.
Oh, you're right. Oh, man. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Rose.
Thank you.
Shadow, you're on, buddy. Shadow, you can unmute yourself.
All right. Hey, you hear me?
Yeah, Shadow.
Right.
Welcome, Shadow.
Thank you. Hey, Jason. Thanks for doing this. Yeah, I'm shocked. I think everyone's really surprised. I'm just trying to think back when I know Ren. I can't remember exactly when, but it has to go years back. Playing Urban, Nationals, Empires. Ren was uh, Ren was so unique in so many different ways. He was such a passionate player, such a good person. I only know him from volleyball, and he's bigger than that. But what I knew is just what a presence he had. I will say I don't know what was better or worse, playing with him or playing against him. He was in a joking way, of course, playing with him, but he was so fun to play against, so fun to play with because he was passionate and just a great player, but fun and just unique. There's no one like Ren. No one like Ren. I love the guy. I love the fact that we can celebrate him. While I'm sad, this is a celebration, and he's bringing us all together. So Ren, thank you. And Jason, thanks for doing this. And Ren, we love you. You will always be with us, and appreciate this community, guys.
Yeah. Shadow, you were one of the guys that used to play against him a lot, and then somewhere in the middle, in the end, you found yourself playing with him a lot.
Yeah.
What changed? Did Ren come to you and say, you know, I'm checking off a bucket list, and you know,
No, it was weird. It was like we all went through our swings with volleyball, you know, in college after school. And I stepped away, then I came back and played. Then I hurt my knee, and I'm old, so I haven't played in a while. But this was more of just switching teams, different levels in urban or going against how about in empires. It wasn't a choice specifically. It was more about bouncing around between urban teams and filling in, and then like just some seasons we playing together, other seasons we playing against him, and playing against him was so fun because he let you know everything at all points when you messed up, when you did great. So like I said, I'm just honored. I'm happy to be a part of this and honor him.
Yeah. And this is super necessary for people like me, Bernard, Eugene, who's part of our clique that Ren kind of wanted to crush and eventually wormed his way into.
Right.
And it's very, very odd because he's the guy you really hated, but you wanted him on your side. You're
Right,
like,
right. Yeah,
I wish,
exactly.
I wish that guy had my back.
Right. Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Not Burn. Burn's like, no friends, destroy that man. But yeah, I'm one of the guys that before I moved to California, we played one season urban together instead of playing against each other. And
Right.
Zacarias, who's in the comment section too, played with us. And we're like, dude, we're missing two people. Ren's like, no problem. Division One playoff. The Division One playoffs come. We only had
Yeah.
5 people. It was Zach, me, Eater, Dominic, and Ren. And Zach was like, don't threaten me with a good time.
Right.
So Ren was one of those guys that lit the match,
Yes.
and really unlocked all the things that we might have been squeamish about that we knew in our heart of hearts we were good at.
I don't remember him having
who was
a
a
down
bad
day
player
or
after
a down
Ren,
game.
right? But
Like,
who was
you remember anytime when he didn't want to play, like he
Yeah.
was always ready.
Yeah.
I don't like. I mean, you guys know more than I do, but
Mhm.
like I don't remember any time he wasn't himself like at
Right.
a level 10,
Yep.
like always ready. Everything.
Yep. I agree. Thank you so much, Shadow, for
Likewise,
sharing.
Jason.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys, we got Eugene Escoboza. Eugene, man. What's up, man? You could unmute yourself.
Thank you for the obvious. My bad.
What's
I'm
up,
really
man?
sorry I'm really sorry about Ren, man. I play with him, took the train home with him. That man had a spunk today.
He really did.
I'm really sad, man.
Yeah, he really did. Do you have a I remember you played with Terry and Ren,
Yeah.
and you played against me, Bernard, or whatever in the finals. Can you talk to us a little bit about just like playing with him or what that season? This is way back, but there's a distinct story.
Remember the league you talking about?
Yeah.
We against you, Bernard, Justin, Danny Moy, and Juana Wu. Am I
Yep.
getting that right?
Yep. Wanawu, yeah.
Yeah. We geez, that was a very competitive game. We had Bernard's ex-wife talking trash to us on the court. Lit up freaking Ren. I don't know why. That was a big mistake, man. If you talk to Ren, you might just light a lot of fire so he can whip your ass.
That's
Sorry,
like Reggie Jackson, Reggie Miller talking crap to Spike Lee.
geez, why'd you do that for? Like, you might as well give him the game, man.
Yeah.
Let him win, It's just don't talk trash to him. Like,
Eugene, I'm so glad you said that because the one thing I wanted someone to say was the best way to even have a chance of beating him was to not give Popeye spinach. Do
Yeah.
not let a sleeping tiger lie. Do not give this man a reason to want to beat you.
so great home because
Yeah.
I live in the Bronx and we like pretty much I live on 156 and he lives he used to live in like 161st, so we used to take the D train, like you know what I mean.
Yep.
And man, Ren was a character, man. He was funny.
Mhm.
You used to take the train, Jason. You were there too, so we didn't. You know what I mean? We didn't get a chance to just. You know what I mean? He was just funny. Like, we just look at people and just tell them what the character was and what he was. And it was hilarious, man. But his game was on par with he was good,
I mean,
man. Like,
I
he's
mean,
so
wow.
trash, he backed it up, man. Like, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding.
Yeah. He was amazing. And
Sorry,
yeah.
he passed away. I was surprised.
Yeah.
That's a very strong man right there. Like,
All right. Yeah. He also, along with Zacarias, Eugene was also one of the people that I played the last season with before I moved to California. And it was just great. We, finally, after we played 5 against 6, but we actually enlisted Raul, Ren, Zach played libero, Eugene and Eater hit middle. I set, and it was like this unstoppable team of ball control. Irwin, right? Urban. It was this unstoppable team of ball control, um, touch redirect blocking, high IQ, intelligent hitting, competitive serving. This is a team that we just got together. It was like it was the time it was the time of my life, because all of those guys I just mentioned, it was me. It was kind of me against all of them. It was me against the world, and I was like, what? We all, like 5 different factions, put their differences aside and played together, and it was wonderful. Eugene, man, thank you so much. If you remember a story and want to come back at it later, because I know you were closer to him as well. Jorge, what's up, man?
Hey, how are you doing, Jason? Thank you for doing this. Oh no, just
Oh my God, guys, it's Jorge. It just hit me. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, no, played. He came. I met him when he came to Gotham, but he wanted to play, and he convinced me to go play with him in Urban, and it was just, he always expected the best. But one story that I want to share is that when we started playing in Gotham, and I was a captain, and I picked my husband to play with us. My husband is not experienced. He's a tall guy, play middle. And one thing I pulled Ren aside and I said, "Hey, Ren, if you yell at my husband because he does some mistake, he's not at your level, at our level, but he's gonna play with us." And Ren was like, "No problem." And he never yelled at him. I was very positive. I was coaching him, tell him like, do this, do that. And I was one of the few people that he never really yelled at me. He was always very positive and encouraging towards me.
How did that happen?
I don't know. It's like he with me. He never. We played in a couple of tournaments and we had a great time. And I think he just wanted you to be give it your all. If you were giving it your all and you were really trying to play and putting it out, leaving it all on the court, he would like you. I mean, he was, that's all he wanted. And I got to see him the last time he was in the hospital. I went to see him at the hospital when he was like you, Jason, he sent me good morning every day, and it's really hard that he's gone. I can't believe it. So
Me neither.
he'll be missed, definitely. So
Well, I wasn't, I was sworn to secrecy to not say it, but since he's passed away, I would send him, I live in California, but Ren, like Bernard, Eugene, like they're really, really close friends. I'm talking about guys we would play, like after LaGuardia, we go to my house and play spades. We order Chinese food. This is every Friday night for like almost a 2-year period. It's me, Steve Rouse, Ken Bassarath, Ren. And so I'd send him a text every now and then. And what I didn't know, he was in a month, 2 months ago, he was in a coma. He just came out of a coma, right?
yeah, yes,
And,
he was.
the doctors are making sure he's okay. He's probably looking around like, like who just kissed me, right? And I think what he did is he went through all of the phone numbers, all of the missed calls and text, and eventually got back to me and then told me what's up. But he really appreciated he has a good memory. He's a guy with a long memory of people who were there for him when he needed them, because it was really hard to determine if he needed you. He wasn't the guy that said, "Hey, I need you guys," right? So, he could count on one hand, because there are just certain people. They didn't know he needed him. We, like guys like you, George, we just acted on impulse when we saw him at the hospital, right?
Yeah.
It was an impulsive thing to do. We didn't know how much he needed them, but it's really hard, especially for men, to say I need you, or I need someone with, not help, not like financial help. I just need someone to be here with me,
Yeah.
and I'm not gonna cry. I'm not. Nope. No, I'll cry later,
Yeah.
but I'm not crying right now. But that
No,
was, I'm glad, I really appreciated you, and guys like you, man. I'm glad you're on. When I saw you, I was like, George, what?
Yeah. No, he like last time he's like, "What do you want? Do you want me to take you something?" And he wanted some shrimp fried rice. And so
Shrimp
yeah,
fried rice.
yeah. So that's what he wanted, and I picked it up and took it to him, and he was like,
Yeah.
"What do you want to drink?" I said, "I wanted a pineapple orange or grape soda. That's what he wanted, and that's what we took him. And we ate there with him, and he told us all about his experience about coming out of the coma, and I was,
Right.
and I really thought he was doing way better because, he told me, because, he told me he was doing better, and just checking up on him. And we were supposed to have to go to lunch last week, but he canceled the last minute, the week prior to that. But he canceled the last minute saying he couldn't make it. He wasn't feeling well. So I said, okay, feel better and stay home. So
Yeah.
it's
Did,
hard.
did you ever go dancing with him?
No, I never did that
I'm
because
such a stereotyper. The guy played. He played a Gotham, so I assume they hit the techno joints.
yeah, no. I never hung around with dance because, he always liked to, never did drugs, never drank alcohol. He
Right.
was always, and he could stay up till 4 a.m. And I'm an old man already. I was an old man back then too, but I just couldn't, think. But he would tell me about all the Gotham boys that were like coming up to him, and he had to read them because, who are you? Oh, you're the famous Ren, and all this other stuff. And in Gotham, he terrorized people. People didn't like him because he was Ren. He would tell you exactly the way he was and the way he felt. And if you like, when you served him very soft, he would go lollipop and pop it right back over at you, and do things like that. But he was like somebody put, he was our Ren. So you took him the way he was. You couldn't change him, so you just accepted him. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Yes. Thank you for that. There are guys in this chat that would play cards with him. There are guys in this chat that will play with him Gotham. There's guys in this chat that will play Urban. There's people in this chat that will walk with him from like Central Park to Washington Square Park. That's a Bernard thing and Eugene thing. We would just walk. And it's like, where you guys headed? We're like, we're just walking. We just like to walk. There are guys that would club with him. Eventually I got him to come out to karaoke with me, and that was the first time like ever. And yeah, he had audiences everywhere. and that was
on
his
the dance
gift.
floor. And
Yeah. And that was his gift. Zach, you're up in two people. The guy between us, iPhone 2. I can't see your face. Can you tell everybody your name? The guy to the left of Zacarias. Or maybe he don't want to talk. I don't know.
Are you asking me for my name or the guy next to me?
The guy next to you. I'm trying to get his name. Because
okay.
I only see his face. I don't see his face. So if anyone sees his face, can you tell me his name?
is that you, Steve?
It could be me.
I think that's my husband, Steve.
Oh, there I am. Can you see me?
No, we can't see you, but we can hear you.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, great. Yeah. So I'm Jorge's husband, and Ren stood next to me and told me to stand back away so he could block, and told me to stand away so he could hit outside. But to be in a position in his physical condition and to send us daily uplifting things, it was just it's amazing. And I texted him on Tuesday, and that was the last time that I connected with him, and it's just too early for him to be gone. So,
I agree.
But these stories, you have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
It gives me so much more perspective on the time before we knew Ren, the type of people that I'm not surprised. But Jason, this is awesome. I mean, you hit it on the head. He had an audience in every one of those different venues, and that was Ren to a T. So I appreciate being on this call and everything, and it's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, very, very beloved individual. I've never had someone in my life that I hated. There are times I wanted this with a steak knife, right? and at the same time, like, there's not someone that I wouldn't take for,
Yeah.
How does this roller coaster of a man make you
Yeah.
feel both ways in this
Yeah. It's
crazy,
crazy.
this insane dichotomy. There's no one in
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
chat that kind of like Ren. There
No.
was no one
No.
that was lukewarm. You
Yeah.
hated him or
Yeah.
you loved him.
Yeah.
And nothing
Exactly.
else and nothing
Yeah.
else in
I mean,
between.
well, and the other thing too is Jorge and I are super competitive. And then we met Ren.
Yeah.
Ren and I used to go off on
I
on people, and we would just we didn't want to win. We wanted to destroy the other team.
Right.
So I mean, it was just let's do this, whatever it takes. So it was awesome.
Before we go to Zach, I wanted to say that Ren used to say, like, you can play and you know how to win, but your skills are a hot mess. And I'm a coach. I'm actually a coach, and I teach people how to win. And my ego identity was like, man, love you, Ren, but come on, man equals man here. And then I moved to California, and I've lived in California for 10 years. And I called him a year ago, and I said, bruh, you all right? Because sometimes you're out here, and all of the coaches, like the most passionate ones, we all, no matter what level, we all share ideas. So everywhere is a good old boys club, but idea sharing is free of charge in California. And just talking to John Mayer, Coach John Mayer, talking to Dane Blanton, talking to Casey Jennings, all of these guys are former D1 players and AVP champs, or like, Dane Blanton won the NCAA's at Pepperdine. People forget, they see beach player, right? And I called Ren and I said, you were right. I was wrong. Okay. My skills were a hot mess, Speaking of tight skill sets, let's move on to Zacarias, the Dominican sensation, the skill set Nazi.
Yeah, man.
What's up, Zach?
Nothing much, man. That news kind of hit. I was kind of waiting for it for a while because I knew he was not doing great. But it's different when it happens than when you know.
Right.
For those of you that don't know, I know Ren since I went to actually Central Park before the beach courts was famous, where we used to play it in the concrete. And one of the major things that I learned from Ren is that the game starts before you even touch the ball. So for the record, I played with Ren more than I would say 200 tournaments.
How old were you? Hold on. How old were you? You must have been 14.
I knew him since I was in senior in high school because he used to go to. No, I lie. I remember him just like I know you from 145th Riverbank.
Wow.
Riverbank Park since I was like in high school, and then I started playing with him after I graduated when I was like I would say freshman in college. And all the way, I was 19, 20, all the way until I was like 32, 33. And we used to win almost almost every grass open men's tournament for an extent of like 7 years. Not including urban, not including reverse co-ed when we used to play with Svetlana.
Yes.
Back in the days, and I forgot the other guys' names. But I used to call Ren when people used to say, how can you be friends with Ren? I was like, listen, he's like that candy Sour Patch. He's sour and then sweet.
Sour Patch Ren.
Sour Patch Ren.
Man, I wish he lived long enough for us to label him that. Look, it's Sour Patch Ren. Sorry, guys.
No. And I remember many times where that's one of the skills that I got besides ball control, because he's probably one of the only few people that I know that has the most ball control. And not only that, I mean, his whole skill set, it was above and beyond, but like ball control was something else. And I remember us going to tournaments, and he would start talking to everybody from the moment he got off the cart, but not in a negative and condescending way, but like competitive wise. You know, he never was the guy who disrespect people with insults, but he would let you know you're not going to win the tournament. We even went to tournaments where they have trophies, and he'll be like, you guys have to put the trophy right here next to us. He would tell people on the next when they were trying to block him, he'd be like, I'm gonna hit line, set him. when we used to play like triples and quads
Mhm.
back with the Dominicans and in Connecticut with like the Connecticut guys against the Connecticut guys and all those D1 players from the universities around the area. And one thing that everybody remembers him, and every time I remember Ren is when I put the ball over on one or two, and that's something that I learned from him because it looks easy, but it's actually not that easy. And he used to get people so riled up, and the game was over before it even started. Because even during warm up, he'll be like, "I don't want to warm up," and he'll just put the ball over. Or the first serve, he'll just put the ball over and one, and it was just like. And then people used to hate him until they meet him, or because we used to go out a lot after Central Park, like to eat,
Mhm.
and people used to like get to know how he is. But I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. He was a very strong character. He was like a very strong person, but like a teddy bear when you actually met him. But he always had that like fire on him where he never knew what it was. For many people playing volleyball, to have fun in volleyball was playing around, not caring if you make a mistake. For Ren, having fun in volleyball was making sure the other team didn't even score 10 points and making sure that they know that they within the
Yes.
court. Yes.
Yeah.
So like fun for Ren definition was very different than what fun is for many other people. And among many other things.
Amen. Yep.
Amen, Saka.
Yep. Amen.
Yeah.
You know,
So and I play with him from sorry, just to finalize. Like I'm pretty hurt because I spent all of my 20s and early 30s playing with him in I would say more than almost every other weekend for those like 10 plus years in tournaments like money tournaments.
right.
Aside from like urban and 145th.
Mhm.
And yeah, man, it's just he was an acquired taste, but a great person once you know him, you know?
Yeah, he was not. You know what? He was a mean son of a bitch. But when you get to know him, everybody loves him.
That's
Like,
Eugene, everyone.
I'm sorry.
Wait. Let me just go back to the fact that he said sweet and sour. What's the sweet part? I know more sour. And what's the teddy bear part? What are you talking about? This
But you
is a
knew it was
dude
there,
that.
though. You knew it was there. It was all there. It was all the package, the rent package. It was all
You
All
know,
around.
right, all
That's
right,
what's
all
great.
right, all right. Y'all don't
Eugene.
understand that little chicken chest what he put me through.
Oh my
I
God.
get it.
Listen, Abu, okay? Abu, it ain't your turn to talk, okay? Ain't no real volleyball players on this chat. But Zach, before I go to Kenny, I like what you said because for a guy who's supposed to be a volleyball purist, he was a cheeser. The man had, dude, he needed some bread for that cheese, dude. He needed some
Right,
bread
he
and
had his little
tomato
tricks.
sauce for that cheese.
He had his tricks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. But
I haven't seen that many people have so much besides Elvis
yeah.
to have so much control on the because his hit wasn't like
Right.
it was fast. It was hard to
Yeah.
get it, but everything was his game was extremely precise.
It
And
wasn't.
that's one of the
Exactly.
Yeah.
things,
He
and that
didn't.
was, that was one of the things that I learned from him because he was just like
Yeah.
there was no such a thing as a bad pass for the
No.
most part. Like, and he would get on your face. He'd be like, pass the ball, like get defense.
Yeah.
But yeah,
He
man,
had to be because of his height. He played bigger than his height. Same as you, Zach, because you had to be so precise. You have to be, and he did.
Yeah.
I see him play when he was playing in the days of the Empire State Games.
Mhm.
That's when I met his dancing version of him,
Right.
which it's as good as his playing. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And I saw so many triple blocks, guys 6'8", 6'9", and you would ask yourself, how is he getting the ball through without a
Just
touch?
ridiculous, dude.
And you just don't, you'd be like, how he's doing this?
Mhm.
But it wasn't to watch him play, and I'm not saying because I really like Ren, and a lot of you know that I really like Ren, and I would fight for him. Sometimes you just when he played, it was watching art. It was watching like a masterpiece, like somebody creating art in the moment because everything was just so precise, so perfect.
Yeah.
And He did, and he was not like at least the years that I met him, he wasn't like an extremely high jumper. He just had some movement on that. It's just crazy. It's just,
Right. You know,
like
Zach.
I haven't seen that much.
You know,
Yeah.
Zach. Before his first kidney failure, right? He had successful kidney surgery, but what a lot of people don't know is he lost half of his superpowers. So Ren at like 60% was still waxing everybody else's behind. There are people that go back, way back, like Bernard and I forgot. There's one or two people that known him 1994, 94 and before. He had the jump. He had I mean, there was definitely a point when I played Urban against him and Bernard was there. His butt, like, there was a guy, George Urbino, right? Like, I think the setter messed up the one ball and like set high middle, and Ren thought it was like a pipe set. And George was trying to just stay on the ground and like down ball it. Ren jumped over him, like Vince Cartered him, and all you saw was Ren's behind,
Yeah.
the little round butt, at the height of the net, not head above the net, not chest, like his butt. And then sometime, I think after 95, after Nationals, he had some kind of food poisoning issue, and then later on a kidney failure. And I'm not glad it happened, but I'm glad that it happened because all of the good things, the only thing that we remembered about Ren is he can jump out of the sky. But now all we can remember about Ren is he's a skill set Nazi. Right, like we got a lot of good skill set Nazis here. Zach, you're one of them. You have really great technique, and that's why I'm really glad you're here. Because I'm glad you talked about the one over, because the cheese over thing wasn't flailing at it. It's like you can't emphasize enough. It wasn't. It was precise. It was accurate. It was methodical, exacting, and worst of all, patient. Yeah, cool, man.
We used to be receiving we used to play against like open players from like D1 schools,
Yeah,
and I remember
make them cry.
he would devour them just by putting the ball over on one in the first, even on the first serve. They would serve him, and he would just put it to the other side so precisely, and the guy was like, "Oh, that's not valuable." And then the other teams would try to do it backwards to us, and then they realize that it looks easy, but it's not that easy.
No.
And yes, but that's one of the things that I learned from Ran is like like mentally, the game always is like starts way before you even touched like the ball.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you get into that gym, I remember people saying, "Oh, to the tournament." I remember people saying, "Excuse my language, is here."
Here comes trouble.
Yeah.
I would actually, and I think, hold on. I think what you were talking about was you talked about in the beginning of your beautiful soliloquy that a lot of people, it wasn't the match was won or lost before you even played. Like Ren would like come to a tournament and you'd see someone's shoulder slump, like, all right, which pool is he in? And it's such a psychological event. It was like Mike Tyson. Like Mike Tyson walk into the ring and you see some people like lose the match before it even started. It's like, here comes trouble, But Zach, thank you for that. We move on to Kenneth Bassarath. What's up, my friend? You could unmute.
Hey, man, what's up, brother? How you doing, man?
Yo, welcome everybody. It's Kenny. A lot of people know Kenny, of course. A lot of people know everybody here because of Ren. Sorry, go ahead, Kenny.
Everybody knows Kenny.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm really.
Okay. I mean, yeah.
I don't know if it's the meds coming out of this surgery or what, man, but I wouldn't be able to do him justice, for the things that he's done for me, this community. It's just very unfortunate that we weren't in communication, because he's the type of dude that will go through his shit and not let anybody know, because he stays down until he's up again.
He would never ask for help, Kenny. He'd never ask for help, dude.
Never, man.
Yeah.
And there's too much. There's too much that he's done for me. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just don't want to. I don't want to waste anybody's time here. Maybe
Yeah.
when
Okay.
I'm a little better and
Right.
a little less emotional. So,
I get that. No, please,
but
I get that. Look, this set in a whole 24 hours earlier than everybody else. So how you feel right now is exactly how I felt yesterday. In fact, we talked on the phone yesterday, and today, like, if you want to come back at a different angle, today we're just what we're doing is we're telling fun stories, like a story that about Ren, maybe at a tournament or whatever that just makes you laugh. But the one story I got about you, is we're playing spades one night, Friday night, and you beat him 3 times in a row, right? And then you said, there's a rule here. If I beat you 3 times, right, you don't get to play me anymore. You gotta like play somebody else and level up. And Ren is someone that used to do that to everybody else. And watching the way he handled that, like a little girl, right? Was not that he can dish it but not take it. I'm not going there. What I was saying is he's so competitive. He didn't even like to lose in spades. Like when he's in a game, whether it's volleyball or whatever, the guy was yelling at Steve, I threw the jack, concentrate, whatever, stop eating the Chinese food. So that was one of the memories I have, like, of you, me, him, and the 4 of us. It wasn't even like volleyball, because Ren would be great, but Ren was one of your mentors. So I thought, maybe if you don't want to talk about it now, I could come back at it, from a different angle, but definitely want you to share a story.
bro, I've never met anybody in the volleyball community that I've hated so much at the beginning and loved so much towards the end. Like I don't know if you remember, you brought me to Central Park and he would not let me play. He didn't even see
I
me
remember
play.
this.
He was like, no, he does not belong here. Take him back. And
Take him back.
I sat my fat ass on that court and said, if I'm not playing, nobody's playing. And he eventually was like, all right, bring it, and whipped my ass. But he showed me that I belonged there, and that was enough for me to keep coming and come with you guys and play with Eugene and Patrick. Sometimes we were even lucky enough to get Bernard to come through.
Yep.
Yeah,
who was
and it
doing
was
music.
just, man, he brought the best out of me, bro. He really showed me a different side. He was the master of psychological warfare. Talking about getting points before a match started, like it's just too much to say about this man, and I just feel like for not really giving him his flowers when he was around,
Do you know how you gave him his flowers, Kenny? Being there Friday night, playing at LaGuardia High School against the Queens. It was him, Raul, Marco or Selena, me, you, Eugene, whoever, Eater. Going to Blondie's, Atomic Wings Blondie's, having wings or whatever. Afterwards, going to the house and playing spades. But he really valued that company. And Saturday morning, he's trying to hit you up to play grass in Prospect Park or hard court in Central Park. Kenny, are you there? I'm on my way. Let's go together. So those are his flowers. Also, guys, I want to cite for the record that Ren is responsible for the first sit-down protest in the history of Central Park. Kenny sat on his Harlem behind and sat in the middle of the court and said, I'm not moving until I get to play. And it was the wildest thing. I was there for that. I'm not going nowhere until I'm playing. Nope, I waited my turn. And you had to appreciate how brave that was. Drawing back the timeline, Kenny, and bear with me on this one, guys. This was a time period where we lived in an echo chamber where it was the most brutal volleyball players in the history of the sport. Like, we had guys saying, look, I was here first. It's my net, my rules. And Ren had friends who would be like, oh yeah, and they break out scissors and they cut the guy's net. I mean, Ren played in the time period where someone would get scissors and cut someone's net and say, you're gone. Like, cut the dude's net. So what Kenny did, like saying, I sat there and said, I'm not moving. I'm like, the cojones on this guy. And I think, and Kenny, Ren had to respect that. What? I'm not leaving until I learn how to play, until I play you, till you bust my, show me something. That was, right? Think about it. In many ways, without Ren, there's no Kenny that eventually plays doubles on the beach, right? That went from fours to twos to you, you know?
Oh, he introduced me to so many good people, so many good friends that I have to this day.
Right.
Because he took a chance, man. Like, he saw something in me. And he didn't give a shit, bro. Like, people would talk shit in tournaments, and he would back me up, bro. Like,
always
fucking crazy, dude.
Yep.
I mean, listen, I was playing with you for the longest time, and I know that we were like a black sheep of volleyball, you know, like everybody guilty by association. You know Jason, and you're crazy too, you know.
Yep.
And dude, for him to be on a team and tell me and ask me to play, and not only that, but to tell you, to ask you if it was okay, you know, like he was like, hey, tell Jason that you need to play with me because he can't teach you anything else.
No, I took you as far as I could go. I'm gonna be real.
Oh, yeah. It's crazy to see, because I could see him. I know who he is. I know how he was, and he was a. I could see. He made people cry, man. He made women, men, children. It didn't matter. He made
children
cry, dude. And you'd be the same dude to see you struggling on a corner or not being able to play or being chastised, and he would come up to you and bring you in and talk to you, you know, like it was the craziest thing for that guy to just be on both sides. A true Sour Patch Kid, bro. He was, to some people, just sour and he couldn't take it. It's like, I hate this guy. And then you see him extend a hand to an absolute stranger. You know, like I don't know, man. Like I said, there's no words that I can really express to anybody of how I feel about this man and how much he's such a pillar in the volleyball community, you know. The connections, the people that I have in my life now because of this man, you know, so.
Yeah.
Nah, I just don't want to, you know, I'm just sorry, guys.
No. Listen, Ren, the respect Ren had, like he would see black sheep, right? He loved that you were unapologetic for it, right? Like a black sheep by association, someone calls you a black sheep, all you're going to do is sing engine number 9 on the New York Transit line, right? If that train falls off the track, pick it up. So there was a respect for Ren with you because as different as you were, you were just like him in the sense that I don't care where you played. I don't care if you played D1. I don't care if you're volleyball royalty. At the end of the day, you got to get on the court and play me. You got to beat me, right? And Ren had this attitude: if you don't like me, beat me. And when you beat him, he didn't cry like a little. Like he at the end of the day, and this is so wild, shake your hand, good game. But I know he made a mental note, right? He's going to get you whatever, but he was always, the sportsmanship, as much as everybody thought he was a brat, the sportsmanship when the game was over was always there. So, you know, anything you wanted to say about that before I go to this guy, Vanessa, I think. Who's next? Yeah, so I'm going to do Vanessa JD. There's a guy in a green shirt. It has iPhone 2. I don't really see his face well. So if anyone knows his name, I could call him out next.
We gotta let Blondie say some stuff, man. Cause
Yep. Yeah, Blondies.
where's Dave Batantis?
Yeah.
Where?
Yep. Yeah.
Where's
Dave
Dave, man?
Cha.
He's the reason I know Dave, and he's the reason I got really cool with the Holden brothers. Like, he's the reason that me and Salak got on the same page, man. Because it was so many years that playing with you, I had like mortal enemies on that volleyball court. Like
Gotcha.
we would argue and talk so much to other teams, bro. Like,
That's what he did, man. What he did. It was great. It was
yeah.
awesome.
That really was him, dude. Kenny, I love you. To be continued. I'd like to talk to you a little bit later tonight. I got the house to myself,
Sure.
so I'm doing some stuff. Okay, Andrew from Toronto, I got you. We're gonna do Vanessa first, and then we're gonna go to Andrew. Oh, speaking of blast from the past. Speaking of blast from the past. Speaking of somebody, speaking of like Dave Batantis or Ray Bello or like people who know him from day one. Vanessa. Oh my God. Eugene, that's who set for you when we played for the first time Urban had like $1,000 prize. It was Vanessa. Vanessa was the setter. It's Vanessa against Wanda Wu. Vanessa, hello.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
Oh my God. Sorry, this thing came out.
So I am in complete shock because I guess since moving out of the city and everything and haven't been playing volleyball in a long time, I didn't know that this happened. And I'm in complete shock. Ren always credited me as the person who taught him the game, brought him out to volleyball the first time. I met him when we were both in high school. I think he was at Taft, I was at Humanities. And somehow we met in the summer during Big Apple. And it was just so much fun playing volleyball and him learning. And that's how he, I guess, looks at me and, oh, this is the first person that taught me or got me out here and, made me love this game. And, playing with all you guys, Bernard, Kenny, I mean, it was some of the best times playing, best times hanging out. I'm just in disbelief.
Yeah.
And thank you, Jason, for setting this up. And I literally just got this Zoom invite 10 minutes before. Actually, I got it around 12:30 and I had to readjust my lunch schedule and I wanted to be on this. And it's just wonderful hearing everybody's stories and
yeah. I'm less shocked but more saddened, right? At some point we knew it was coming. The guy was battling so many different ailments that went beyond his kidney failure and through dialysis there's so many things that can go wrong. The reason why I'm glad you're here cuz on a personal note, like I'm a different man than I was like 10, 15 years ago. I was a jerk. I wanted to apologize for being that. I thought you were always the same person with me, and I wanted to let you know that I value you, I honor you, and I'm sorry if I said a whole bunch of things that we both know I didn't really mean. Okay.
thank you, Jason. I mean,
yeah.
Not that I knew you didn't like me, but
no,
I
I
thought it was
adored
just
you. I adored
I
you.
thought it was just, friendly competition and all that
man.
good stuff. And that's kind of how I took it. So
on the second thing, were you aware that Ren was at your game when you guys beat Stony Brook? So for everybody listening, Vanessa played for Hunter, right?
Yes.
And Stony Brook, they were going to go Division I the next year, so they rolled up at Hunter College looking for like a 3-0 win. And do I have the wrong? I got the right person. You did play that game, right?
It's been so long, I can't remember, but
I think
continue.
Stony Brook was ranked like 10th in the country, and you guys won in 5. Ren was at that game. Ren would show up to games where everybody would think, "Oh, you kidding? I don't want to watch these scrubs play. They ain't no real volleyball players. I'm going to be in that gym." I played 1 year before I played professionally in Germany. I played 1 year at Hunter College in '94. Ren was at my CUNY semis and finals. You know, he was sitting there kind of by
Awesome.
himself, and that was the first time I met him. That was 1994. And George Urbina was like, "Yeah, that's Ren," and I'm like, "Okay, cool. Who's Ren?" And then
George.
yeah, and then Vanessa, like the very next day we're in Central Park peppering, and he's like, "Your skills are a hot mess," and I'm like, "Yeah, whatever you say, dude. You know, like I'm going to Darmstadt to play for money. Who are you?" And you know what? After like playing against him, I'm like, dude. If the team I'm playing for in Germany saw this, they're gonna want their money back. You know, we want Ren, we want that guy. So, was there like a story in the park, or just some like a funny moment or a funny line you wanted to share before I moved on to with Andrew?
No, just the story of how we met and how hopefully it was true that I was the one that got him to learn and play and love it. But
Yeah. You one of the people that came up with him. That's how far back you go.
Yeah.
And by the way, we ain't talking about Vanessa's age, but this one drank from the fountain of youth. Like, I'm 55 years old. If I'm talking about going back, you're like, wait a second. Are you a vampire or something? Did you move away from New York City because people realized you weren't getting older, and you had to keep your secret? Do you like travel once every 20 years so before the gig is up? Guys, how far? Just like a voice, yes. Like how many people knew Vanessa before 2000? Just like a shout out. Bern, Gene, Zach. Who knew Vanessa before 2000? Like, wow.
What was it, 90?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Eugene played with you in '96. That was you.
Yeah.
It was George Urbina too. It was George, Ren.
Yeah.
First of all, Vanessa, oh my God, girl.
Right?
I haven't
What's up,
seen you
Bern?
in years.
I know. How you been, bro?
Yeah.
I know. How you doing? Oh my God.
She drank from the fountain of youth, my friend. Yes, you drank a pitcher of that. I mean,
that's all. I feel so old. I should drink more.
I know. Look, I had a few sips myself. I'm 55. I'm doing all right. Still got the Jufro.
Oh, nice.
So, oh my God, he got the kid and play, bro.
We're gonna do the dance, right? Ain't gonna hurt nobody. All right, so Andrew from Toronto, you're on, my friend. You could unmute yourself. Andrew B. from Toronto. Yeah, you could get your
Vanessa. Miss you.
Yes. Cool, man.
Am I on?
Yeah, Andrew, you're on, buddy.
Oh, hey Jay, it's so good to see you. It's been a long time.
Guys, this is Lefty Andrew from Central Park.
Yes. I came to New York in the 90s. I left in the 2000s. I got to learn to play volleyball. I thought I was good when I got to New York, and then I went to Central Park. And okay. And so one of my introductions was Ren, and I saw the sand court there, and then the hard court, and I thought, well, I want to play in the sand court, and nobody would play with me, so I thought I'll go to the hard court, and then Ren looked at me and said, "You got to go on the low side, so because only the winners play on the high side." I'm like, what does that even mean? So he gave me an introduction to volleyball like only Ren could. And so I learned to up my game with him. You always bring your A game with him. Now I'm getting a little bit emotional, and it's been decades. So I remember Ren brought food all the time. He always brought something to the courts. And he'd always share. And that's the thing that I think that was lost. I mean, he always had this very, very strong outward, this strong character. But he was a softie inside. So I just remember that from back in those days. Even if I had nothing to eat all day, guess what? Ren would show up there and he'd have something to offer.
Yeah.
And I remember that, and it was absolutely amazing to have known him. I'm sorry to hear that, what happened. I don't know the details, but it makes me miss you all even more. So
Yeah. What was one of the more, as far as skill set is concerned, what was one of the more things that impressed you about Ren? Because I know your skill set was really tight out. You had really sweet hands. You had a poison left hand too on offense. What was something that Ren brought to the table skill set wise that made you say, wow, this dude's for real?
it's like he in the air. You were saying he didn't have the greatest leaps, but he could turn his body and get himself in the right position off the ground every single time. So what in the industry I'm in, it's proprioception. He literally had that every time he went up in the air. So he was always in the right position. So he could demand of everybody else pass the ball well, hit the ball. Like you can do this, you can do this. He was very demanding of everybody. And that's because he could turn his body and put it in positions where he could make that set, he could make that hit. So he couldn't be blocked. It was amazing to watch. I mean, I remember this now like it was yesterday. So that's my thing about him is that he made me want to be a better player. And that's why I worked on my hands literally for hours at the gym over and over and over again because I wanted to be that good. That's it. That's what he brought to me. He made me want to be better.
Yep. Yeah. Ren, let me tell you something. Ren was a skill set Nazi. There are people in this chat that play at all different levels, right? And like you can have a winner's mentality and know how to win, but Ren had this way of making like, why do you have to do this the hard way? Do this the right way. What he called the right way, the way to play. And I think I speak for a lot of people when you try to improve on this or that or whatever, you found like some of the wins or some of the games came a little bit easier to you. And this, I think my point is the reason why he made the game look so easy and it looked like he beat people in such relative easy fashion is because he had an emphasis on the fundamentals. How many of you guys saw Ren stretch for a game? Right? None of us. The guy would just go to the court. Everybody else is warming up. Everyone's stretching out. Everyone's running. Everyone's doing practice blocks at the net. And Ren is standing there like a queen with his hands on his hips, right? So I'm trying to fix my earphones and I'm back. Sorry about that.
I never
I've
seen Brad stretch. I never saw Rand complaining about that something was hurting. I never heard him saying I'm thirsty. I never it was just like it was like for him it was like an on and off switch, valuable or not valuable, and that was from like the beginning. But yeah, it's true. He never warmed
I've
up. That's
I've
true.
seen him come straight from dialysis.
Oh my God, yes, that's
Straight
so
from
true.
dialysis,
To the
dude, and
park.
play a game. Like I'm like, what the hell, bro?
I he used to listen real quick, and I apologize. I know I talk too much. He used to come with what was his drink that he liked the milky one and
Uh-huh.
a Yahoo. He used to come with a Yahoo and a honey bun to tournaments, and I used to be like, "That's all you're gonna eat," and that was all he will eat the whole day.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to like fight with him to like actually like get water and keep hydrated. But the dude just I just never saw him struggle in the court as, or maybe he knew how to hide it
Mm-hmm.
or play it out. But yeah, I never saw him with like complaining about any injury, any like little thing.
Well, maybe we all should have ate chicken and fried rice. I mean, all
Yeah.
right. Maybe we should have done that too. Guys, all this training and all this nutrition, we got it all wrong, man. Just chicken and fried rice, chicken legs. Oh no, sorry, shrimp with fried rice. No, he loves shrimp. And if the shrimp wasn't there, it was chicken, right? So, yeah. Claudia, I got you next, but I wanted to make sure Ronnie, who's in the chat, Ronnie, do you have to coach after this? Because I didn't want you to leave without saying something. Ronnie, are you there?
Uh, nah, I'm good. I'm still driving to Long Island, so
All right, cool. All right, cool, my man. All right, Claudia, you're up next. Claudia, before you go, I wanted to say it's really cool because when I think of Claudia, I think of Central Park. I think of, I think of Kenny, I think of City Tech. I think of Bernard. I think of Eugene. I think of Ronnie. I think of Mike Salak and Elvis. So these 6 degrees of separation all revolve around what we would call the Kevin Bacon of volleyball. Ren, Claudia.
This is not Claudia. This is Xavier.
Oh, X.
But
Sorry. Go ahead, X.
no, no. She's not. She's not. Wasn't prepared to speak.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah,
but I will
you're
say,
up
like,
next.
Ren was. Oh, sorry. I'll just say a few words for her. It's like Ren was always so sweet to her, as she was learning, because she came to the whole park area very, very late in kind of our history. And
Hi, guys.
she was always like really just surprised because like on the court, like everyone was saying, like he can come off like the meanie, the picking on whatever you do wrong and stuff like that. However, when she was playing and warming up, he would always like they would have little conversations, and so I think she always appreciated that about him. She's shaking her head, yeah, as she's getting ready to leave. So yeah, that's kind of it for her, I think, which I think kind of dovetails into the idea like he was very particular on how he was always like getting people to play, like new people. So as hard as he was, I always remember him picking like random people that he saw potential in or like energy, and he would go and help them to like learn how to pass or give them like words of inspiration or even like pick on them. It's like, you better learn to pass better or something like that. Whatever it was. And I found like, that's something in the past that some people used to do a lot, like trying to get new people to come in. And I think, as hard as he was, I always remember like that was one thing that he would do sometimes.
Hey guys, mute your mic. If your mic is on, mute your mic so we can hear some of the individual people talk. So thank you for that. Eugene, sorry. Okay, cool. No, Xavier, you mentioned in the comments section he had a heck of a wrist. He had something we call the Queen's wrist, right? And the thing, right? That's what he called it. It was self-proclaimed Queen's wrist. And I like it because there are people that think they have to work out and like buff up and have like this ridiculous amount of strength to hit. And this guy, Ren weighed like $150, right? Soaking wet, and it hit the ball harder than anybody else who worked out. So it really, when you saw his wrist, his follow through his wrist and elbow, it really made you have an emphasis more on technique. Like why is my shoulder? I'm throwing up my shoulder trying to hit hard, and here's this skinny dude just kind of like whipping it. Go ahead, X.
I was always envious of his technique. Like, so, I never played like high level, was taught like high level. My career volleyball, I won't say ended, but it kind of plateaued like around coming out of high school. Having some opportunities to play, at Hunter and even with the Haitians in Brooklyn on a couple occasions. But I remember early days, so I've been in the park since 87. 87? Yeah. No, 88.
Wow.
87, 88. So like I was there was no beach courts. There was 4 courts. The top court was the top level. I put in the comments that we had such high level that there were like 3-4 people deep crowd surrounding the courts as people are pounding this ball. I mean, this is like high level play. I would never even try to play on those games. Like those are like, you would just stand there in awe. And I remember in those days, they would pick people, you would set a team and that would be your team for the whole day. So like, you play against people. And in those days, like when I first started, like there were like, decent amount of black people, but like it was like sporadic, and Ren was one of those guys that were young at the time. And I feel like we came on the scene, and I could be wrong. My volleyball memory is a little spacey, but I feel like we came on the scene at the same time. And then people would like butt us up against each other sometimes. and it was like adversarial. Like, so in that time, I remember Ren used to jump high, and I used to jump high, and it was amazing. Like, we would come from the back line. Like, the height was such a gift to be able to hit around blocks, but Ren always had such beautiful technique that it would, when you add the height, the abilities with the technique, he was just about unstoppable. So when people would actually block him, he would turn his head and look at you, and he was like, "How'd you block me?" And then he would come back and show you like it was one-off block, and then like use your hands and go offline. Like, it didn't matter. He would find a way around, or whatever. So I just remember, for me, like, it was always kind of adversary. I was kind of turned off for a long time with how Ren did stuff, because I'm kind of more like the humble type, but I also like pushing buttons, with Jason and Bernard, all these guys. Like, once you play with these guys and Eugene, like, there's no, you can't help but have to like go at each other and like push each other's buttons and try to say, like, get in their head and see who can mess up who from making like silly mistakes. But like with Ren, it's a little different because it felt more like deep cutting in a sense. But after a time, when I got to know him, like, especially like off the court, and I can't say I spent as much time around him as some of the other folks on this call, but I just remember seeing a softer side of him. And which some people are like, "I don't have a softer side," but he did. And when you saw that, you're like, "Oh wow, that's amazing." And it's really quite interesting to, the difference between his on-court persona and his off-court persona. And I think a lot of people didn't see that off-court persona like deep. I can't even say I saw it that deep, but I'm very thankful that I like got to know him and spent my time learning how to play volleyball against and with him sometimes, and he always pushed and inspired me to get better, because like a lot of people said on this call, this passing platform, it seemed effortless, and I was always envious of that. Like, always envious of his like, I don't want to say even perfectionist, but like the ease of doing it. And so I appreciate him, and I feel like he appreciate me sometimes, even though like my abilities were kind of on and off, hot, cold. But I think he always appreciate when I brought the game and surprised him, and he was never like mad about it. He was excited to have any kind of competition, even if for only a moment.
Well,
So I just want to thank also Jason. Go ahead, sorry, Jason. Oh, I was just gonna say, I really appreciate you putting this together. I think you are probably the perfect person to put this together, and like just go over all these stories and guide people through these stories, because your memory is just amazing with this stuff in volleyball. So I just want to give you a big up, and it's so really nice to see like Vanessa's face and Burns and Eugene. I see these guys sometimes in the park, and Zacarias, is another amazing player.
Yeah.
It's just so heartwarming to see this, and it's just sad news to hear. I mean, I'm not surprised either, but I don't know, it just feels weird as we get older. We just assume we're going to see each other, like until we get like RJ's age. We're going to be in our 70s still like, pass the ball, and to see one of us, our age kind of, gone it's a little sad. But I really appreciate you and everyone on this call sharing these stories, because a lot of it I haven't heard, and I love hearing it. So I just want to say thank you to everyone sharing.
Yeah. One of the unique things about Ren is, or not Ren, but everyone in this chat, we somehow, some way got to know him after the game was over, because when someone is looking down on you and absolutely bodying you and holding you under 10 points, like or back then, like side out beating you 15-2 or 11-0, you're like, I don't want to get to know this guy off the court. Fuck, screw this guy. I don't know. Oh, he's this guy. No, I don't care. I don't want to know. I'm out of here. I just want to go cry. I thought I could play this game, and this guy showed me I can, and he let me know it. I don't want to know this guy. So I think it's really cool that every single person in this chat that took the time, and it does take some time, right? Because we nobody likes him right away. I hated the guy for 10 years, honestly. To one day you're eating Chinese food, or going to get food, like Zach said. One day, like Kenny said, we're playing spades. One day, Bernard will love this. The $2 movie theater on 50th Street.
Oh.
So this is
Worldwide
turning it
cinema.
back. The $2 theater. And this again, like Andrew, like a lot of the guys who didn't know about that. And you watch your movie with him, and you walk with him, and you're like, I never knew this about him. Wow, and he made you feel like you were his best friend. There are people in this chat that know him a little bit. There are people that have known him since '87. There's guys that played Empire State games with him, and there's guys that went to tournaments with him, all the way up to people like Taylor Crabb and Taylor Sander, who won nationals with him, right? He made everybody feel like you were close to him. And this is why I did this, because everybody has a story to tell. And I think everyone's learning right now as we speak. Every story to tell is equally valuable about this, as New Yorkers would say, a mensch. He's what we would call a mensch. Mark Fishman, I don't know if you're in the chat, but Mark Fishman is one of the people that helped pay for his original kidney transplant. He lives out here on the West Coast, and he's the founder of Beach Nation with like April Ross. So he was doing all kinds of cool things out here, but he was a New Yorker. And I don't know if you guys remember how far you back to remember New York Taxi, a Long Island club that ran helped cut his teeth back then. So that's how far back he goes. Claudia, I got Claudia Paul and Claudia Marm. Who's here? Who wants to answer first?
Claudia Paul is not gonna.
All right, cool.
She's not gonna hop on.
Janette Luna. Oh my God, Janette, you could unmute yourself.
Hi. Yeah, I found out sometime last night, and I was in complete shock. It was a bit hard to sleep. Obviously, like everyone mentioned, not something to expect. It was just like, yeah, it's a bit overwhelming, but I didn't know him as long as most, if not, I didn't know him as long as most of you have. But originally I met him at Central Park, and honestly, it was very intimidating at first, considering that I'm usually very quiet and introverted. But I think the turning point at the time was just, after learning that we live somewhat close to each other, up in the Bronx, so we would take the train together, and that, gave us the opportunity to get to know each other more. And then our train rides were spent talking about, well, mostly him telling me what Central Park was like in the 90s, the people he's beaten on the court. And then obviously the transferable skills from dance to volleyball. And, as he told me these stories about what it was like in the 90s, I remember just looking at him I was very fascinated. It was I looked at him with the same fascination, like, let's say, like my father telling me stories about like a time I wasn't born in, or telling me about people and, that I've never met and stuff. So like, in this case, it was very fascinating to hear about a time, let's say, that either I wasn't born during that time, or like, or all these people that, let's say, were there at the time that are no longer at Central Park, that, have either moved on and stuff. So I remember he always spoke his mind, so I never had to question where I stood with him, or just anyone in general. So it's both his mouth and the face did the talking. And I felt that I was very fortunate enough to see a gentle soul beneath what appeared to many as a hard surface. Yeah, and what is it? Even the last time I watched him play, like what some of you mentioned, he wasn't, let's say, even when he wasn't at 160, it was just, I remember just thinking, wow, if he's not even at 100, I imagine how good he was when he was at 100, and he would tell me these stories, and I've always wanted to watch like videos. So I just think that many of you are so lucky to have played with him, played against him, and even if you didn't do one or the other, I think you're even lucky to have witnessed him playing as a spectator. And I remember I did visit, like what you mentioned, like he's not the type to, let's say, reach out and say like what he's going through and stuff. So, the last time he did tell me what he was going through was a few years ago, and I did visit him in the hospital twice. Um, and I remember the first time asking him on the way there, is there something you need or do you want? And he's just like, no. And then finally, the second time, he tells me he wants fish. Fried fish with fries.
Guys, get on that diet, man. You want to be better volleyball players, dude. We had it wrong.
Yes, fried fish.
Oh my God.
So then I just remember, being between two jobs, like, leaving my 9 to 5 to go coach up in the Upper East Side. So I had this limited time, and I'm just like, and I remember telling him, I'm like, I don't know where they sell fried fish in bougie Upper East Side. Like, so I was just like, we're gonna have to, and then he did also ask for tweezers. So I'm like, I'm just gonna get you the fries and the tweezers instead. And giving him my like updates as like to my ETA and stuff, like, oh, what room are you in? And then like as I'm walking upstairs, like, oh, there's an attractive guy on the line, and he goes, bring him too, so his sense of humor
he can come too.
yeah. And then it's just like one of you mentioned, certainly an acquired taste. I also think that, he isn't for the weak. And I feel like people like him have motivated me to be better. I think like with him, it's like you can either rise to the occasion and use that as motivation to be better or not. And a way I would describe him is like a sassy, graceful queen.
Yeah. Janette, I would also suggest, because of the timeline in which you knew him, there are many instances he come to Central Park and play 1 or 2 games, and in some instances he wouldn't play at all. So in many ways, you had a bigger sample size of Ren than a lot of the people who knew him before 1996. Because Ren, when he's in Central Park, he was just on the court. And any conversation you would have is between games, because he'd never lose. The winner stays on, or maybe win 2, sit 1, and then play the next. So in many ways, people like you, people like Zach, had a bigger sample size because you got to talk to him more. Zach took a lot of trips with him, of course, and I don't mean to go back to me and Kenny or whatever, but we had a huge sample size because. How Ren could be in the tunnel, carrying on and twisting and dancing, and he has other options, and the guy chose to play cards with us. So, we had a bigger sample size. So I really appreciated that story because it came from this place where everyone in the chat's like, yep, or kind of like preach, and guys, get on that chicken and that shrimp and fried rice diet.
I was just like, where am I going to find that here?
On the Upper East Side too, right? It was like, you're going to find.
Oh, Luna.
I'll never forget that voice. And also Byrne coming to Central Park and basically trolling Ren. Matt, you're a master rage baiter.
Yeah. There's only a handful of guys that didn't want to be like Ren, that didn't want to play like Ren. Bernard was one of them. Bernard was like, screw Ren. I'm going to be me, and I'm going to beat this guy's behind or whatever. Just a great urban rivalry. You know what I'm saying? Not New York urban, but like Central Park, hard top. You're not going to see it on ESPN, but you wouldn't believe the amount of people that stop to watch. Like, we're talking about hard top volleyball. There, in Central Park, you got passersby, right? But all of a sudden, you have this crowd of people. You can't even see concrete anymore. All you could see is the court, and just like a bunch of people. It was like Manhattan Sixes. You couldn't see the sand, just the crowd and the players. And guys, this is what Ren brought brought to me that I can never unlearn. I like, wow, he knew. He let his play do the talking, but wow, what a just a magnetizing person, like drawing small crowds in a park where people passing by are not even expecting to see volleyball. Cool, man. Thank you, Janette. Thank you, Janette. I got Brendan, and then I want to go to Ronnie. But Valerie, Valerie, you're still here? Because Valerie had to bounce. Valerie is someone that knew Ren very well and loved him. But if she's gone, we'll go to Brendan Fang and then Ronnie. Go ahead, Brendan. You can unmute yourself. All right. Maybe Brendan stepped away. Ronnie, let's go to you, Ronnie. Then we'll try Brendan later. Ronnie, are you there, buddy?
Yeah, I'm still here, bro.
What's up, brothers? Hey, guys, speaking of another guy who drank the Kool-Aid, like I met this guy in like 94 and everyone got a little older, right? And we come back and he still looks like that, man. You're like my high school science teacher. What's up, Ronnie?
Thanks for edging us, bro. Appreciate it, man.
Guilty,
But
Your
yeah,
Honor. Guilty.
yeah. Nah, but I just want to definitely say thanks for setting this up. It's great to hear the different stories. I think we all have like the same type of context, the stories that we have. It's kind of love and hate relationship all at the same time. I won't lie. I'm part of that group. I hated this guy. Like you don't even know. My first experience was with him at Empire State Games when he pretty much told me that, hey, you're too short. You don't belong here, dude. So, but in hindsight, when everyone just hearing the stories, I think we all can definitely look back and say, hey, you know what? He made us better. Definitely a queen bee, but he definitely made us better by pushing you. Was he trying to really do that or not? Hey, that's the way I'm gonna take it. That he's definitely always trying to make me better. I'm definitely gonna put it that way. I have a little bit somber time with that because one of my last tournaments that I played with him, Boston, some years ago when we came back, 1:30 in the morning, it was me, Potensis, like Salak, Greg Ramelis went to some almost like I think it was like a NYVarsity tournament in Boston somewhere. And when we still had payphones, he got on a payphone and made a phone call and he went clubbing. I'm like, Ren, we've been in the car for 5 hours. We're all stinking, man. He's like, I'm fine, dude. Let's go. I'm just like, wow. And he
Wow.
went and partied. He went and partied. And literally, I believe maybe a week or two later, that's when we had the news that that's when his kidneys started having issues. So literally was after that tournament. So we kind of heard that. But yeah, I mean, I did the whole club scene with him, going voguing and all that kind of stuff. And he would just get up and go play a volleyball tournament.
What's up, guys?
Yes. Cool, man. Welcome. We got Ronnie talking. Stay with us. Go ahead, Ronnie.
You'll definitely be missing the New York scene. I think he did things on the court that people to this day don't do. Like one perfect example is as an outside hitter front row with a front row setter, getting a free ball over the net. He'll run behind you as a setter to hit a back ball. And I'm like, what the hell is this guy doing? And that became a staple for Ren. Him and Elvis, those two guys controlling the court and stuff like Zach alluded to, that ball control. I mean, I know a lot of guys that played and insane ball control, but I don't think, Elvis is good, but I just don't think like those guys can even touch this guy. His platform, he could be like all out of sorts, but then that ball is right on target. If you give him 10 balls, he'll probably do a 10 out of 10 or 9 out of 10, so, unfortunately, I tried to reach out to him some years, texting, calling and stuff like that. He never returned my calls. Maybe I was on the bad side of his group at that time. I don't know. I kind of wish now, in hindsight that I kind of pushed that a little bit more just to reach out. Definitely loved him, hated him at the beginning for sure, but he left a very lasting impact on all of us from what I can hear. So it's good to be able to reminisce about that. He, towards the end, playing with him on Creole and then playing against him with the hustle and flow and stuff like that. It could no longer give you a whole day tournament, but even as you said, Jason, even 60% Ren is still better than most guys,
Still
which is
waxing
insane.
everybody's behind, dude.
Yeah, it's ridiculous to see that, but I would see him not be himself. You know, he's still willing himself to play. That's when he was going through Dallas at the beginning, really tough. But you could see that he's still trying, you know, but he couldn't do it. You know, he stopped playing for a while, and I was glad to hear that he came back into it.
Yep.
So that was nice, you know.
Yep.
So wish I kept up, man. Sucks.
Well, for everybody listening, I just want to let you know when Ren had a kidney failure, his first one, he was on dialysis for 6 years, which is not. This is not something a lot of people survive or whatever. And when he got a successful kidney transplant, you know, I went to the hospital, so it says to whatever, but he was under, and he called me like 2 nights later, and he says, Jason, he said, I got a new kidney. He says, if you think they hated me back then when I was on dialysis, if you think they hated me back then when I was on dialysis, watch it now. And Ronnie, I wanted to land by with two very important things, and I wanted you to caveat on this. One, he played at every level. He would play with the Queens. He would play with the outcasts or the black sheep like me, Burn. He would play with Mike, New York Urban, and, you know, of course, some tournaments. He played with Taylor Crabb and Taylor Sander with Hustle and Flow. This man appreciated every level that he played on, and everybody just had this general respect for this man's skill set and Nazism. You know, before you go, and I see Mike there. What's up, Mike Salak?
What's up?
But before you go, Ronnie, as a coach, like, we teach our kids, like, not to make their emotional wave too big, because big waves crash, right? So for every 5 points you get emotionally high, you probably give up 8 on the low. But then you have these guys we call unicorns, that when you set them off, they're high, they stay high, and their wave never crashes. Burn's in the comment section. Burn was one of those guys. Did you find that fascinating about him? Like, how the hell does he do this? How like, when he was, you know, playing, how the hell was he able to sustain that for an entire tournament? How does he do that? And I wanted you to add to that. You know,
I'll be honest, I have no idea. Like some guy said, you know, you never saw him drink anything, you never saw him really eat anything. That street bun was always his thing.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know how he did it. Like, I was one of those guys actually played when he was jumping. He was able to get his most of his chest over the net, pretty much, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But he just he's a very technical guy without being technical. So he was able to do things just pure technique, where athleticism was not really necessary. He would be able to find a way. Like, as some people said, you know, how can you get the ball through guys with 6'8", 6'7"? You know, he didn't really have, you know, I would say for me personally, playing with him at those levels, like, defense, I think, is one thing that he was kind of lacking somewhat.
He
made
took plays off sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes, but most of the times he really cared about every other part of the game. You know, it's like, yeah, if I dig it, I can make up for it. Literally would tell me that. I'm just like, dude, come on, man.
Yep.
You know, but he had an engine that would never stop. He would always find another gear, and I don't know how. You know, as we all say, a lot of us, you find your second gear somehow when you get tired,
Mm-hmm.
Your second wind or whatever. But, like, I've never seen him get tired.
Yeah.
He'll play all day long, go party, get up the next day and do another tournament.
I think dancing did it. This is guys, for everybody listening, this is a guy that's never done a sit-up in his life and had a six-pack. You know what I'm saying? There's something about carrying on and dancing and doing all that stuff or whatever. And I'm glad I have, like, guys like Mike. I got Bernard, Eugene, you. Before his first kidney failure, because a lot of people said he wasn't a terribly good jumper, but before his kidney failure, that dude's like, his little round behind was like at the height of the net. Like, Mike had the pleasure of playing against him and with him a bunch of times, as well as you. And I like that you brought that up, because when he lost half of his superpowers, we had a bigger appreciation of his technique. Of, like, the prettiest platform I've ever seen in my volleyball life. I'm talking Karch, I'm talking Byrne, I'm talking Dane Blandon. Like, all of these guys have beautiful platforms. Ren, wow. You know,
he's dancing. He's a dancing man. Like
Yes.
his elbows were touching.
Yes. Yeah.
We used to always say flash pose because he
Yeah,
was
man.
always on
Flash
the runway
pose.
trying to
Yeah,
Nice.
all of us would say that, bro. Like, all of us would be saying, "Flash Rose." Oh boy,
But
I forgot about that. Yeah.
yeah. But Ronnie, I'm so glad I got you on because if you look at the chat here, there's different associations. Like we have double B players here, we have single A players, we have open players, we have black sheep, we have just Central Park ballers, we have people that travel. And he was the Kevin Bacon. He was the 3 degrees of separation from all of us. Right?
The
Yeah.
glue, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm so glad that you showed up. You know, again. Valerie, I wish she's. You know, I saw the message late. I would have tried to get her on earlier because I know some people have to coach later. And mad respect. Look, Kenny's here. I mean, it's just this is wild. Like Janette Luna's here. Thank you so much, Ronnie. Is there anything you wanted to finish with, or we on to the next?
Nah, man. Nah, just thanks for doing this, man. It's
Yeah.
definitely brings back memories.
Yeah.
And it's now it brings them back too much into my memory banks. Which is nice. I had a lot of great times with Ren. They
Nice.
got them, they Nagva for the first time ever. I'm just like, Ren, I don't know, man.
Nagva.
Like, thought you'd be fine with me. I'm like, okay.
All right. Cool. Nice.
Yeah,
Thank you,
awesome.
Ronnie. I see a bunch of people. I see Phil. I want to go try Brendan Feng one more time. Then I got Phil. Then I got Salak. Last call for alcohol, Bren. All right.
For the record,
Yeah.
Ronnie and Mike Sala was when I was in high school. They were my icons. I
Yeah.
always look up to them. So it's really good to see them here.
Zacarias, how are you, my friend?
Yes.
But I'm good.
Isn't
So
that-
many good
isn't that
memories, man.
Isn't
So
that
happy.
wild?
Yeah,
This,
very icons, bro. Ooh, that's not good.
Phil Gallagher, you could unmute your mic.
Hey all. I was just here to, listen. I think I definitely didn't, have as much time with Ren as I think a lot of the other people on here, but just came to, hear the stories and, be a little sad that I missed him these last 10 years, but that was it.
All right, cool, man. All right, cool, Phil.
Appreciate you doing this though, Jason.
Mike, I actually have a cue, but for some reason Zoom saw it appropriate for you to jump the shark. So you're up next. Mike, welcome, brother. We're sharing just fun stories. You can say whatever you want, but it would be volleyball malpractice to add to whatever you have to say. Just a fun story when you first met him, or just a tournament, like how he bodied someone. We have many stories, and I'd like for you to tell yours.
Yeah, I guess I first, he was a little bit older than me. And, he basically was playing the position I wanted to play. So for, the beginning of my career, like high school, I guess, and maybe even a little bit after that, I was chasing him, trying to be him, trying to get his spot. And he was just good, man. What I loved that he did was really, really sexy, and I can never do it. Was he would just go up looking like he's gonna attack the ball, and then he'd just do that little roll shot right into the donut, and it was just almost unstoppable. And yeah, he had the wrist. He could do all the wrist action. He just had all the tools. And he definitely had the gift of gab. And like I posted on Facebook somewhere that just like the world is just a less interesting place without him in it, man.
Yes.
I played NYVarsity with him for years. I got like MVP in NYVarsity a couple times playing with him. He brought me we went to all around the country playing a little bit of that here and there, and then like you said, all different levels. Right? He played in high school. He played Empire State Games was great. He was great in Empire State Games, and those are good times. And then I think when it was more difficult for him, he played a lot less indoors. And then Central Park became his home, and he was kind of like running things there for a while. So, and Central Park was a great place for him too because, he loved to talk smack. And he was definitely the queen of the jungle. So I'm gonna miss that guy. And like last summer, I kind of only went to Central Park once, and I was hoping I would see him there. And this summer, I was like setting goals to go there more so I could maybe catch him. And then this happened. So very sad, and it's just nice to see everybody out here. Thanks for doing this, Jason. It's very cool. Um, yeah, he was a fun dude to be around. And I competed against him, and then ended up playing a lot with him. So I'm feel very fortunate about all that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Mike, was there like a particular tournament where like someone was kind of like talking across the net and Ren kind of shut it down? Cause Kenny, I remember Kenny telling me a story like there was this guy who was like 6'8" playing opposite, and Ren was like, "I got him" or whatever. And like on the Sixers team, like when you were thinking of blockers, you're like Ren is not like the top three on this team, and Ren would just.
Yeah.
I remember Kenny telling me the story like 1-on-1, the way Ren jumped and just absolutely like snatched this dude's soul. Was there a particular story where like someone was giving you guys the business and Ren led the charge on it?
I mean, I don't know if there was ever a tournament where he didn't lead the charge in some
Gotcha.
way.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, I mean, I can't really recall a particular. I know that he shined a lot at like the Popeye Dell tournaments.
Yeah.
There were some good runs down there. And I think we went up to Canada a couple times, had some fun up there. So yeah, I can't think of anything specific though.
Okay.
Getting old.
Yeah. But I really loved that when I played against you guys, and listen, Ren made like sometimes they get your volleyball and you got to get in the car and you got to travel. Like I live in California, so I'm lucky enough. I'm in Hermosa Beach. I roll out of bed or whatever. But volleyball wasn't always like that for me. You had to drive. You had to go here. You had to go there. But Ren provided this one-stop shop. Meet me in Central Park. Meet me in Prospect Park at the grass courts, right? So it's one of those things where everyone's like, if you're not playing tournaments, you're not going to get better. And Ren was like, says who? Says who? Who said that? Who told you that?
I know.
Look at me, look at them. Okay, who are you going to listen to? So one of the things I liked about Ren, and I'm not certainly not trying to veer away from you. He provided this one-stop shop, and for me, playing against somewhere at the end, before I moved, playing against you and him, like New York Urban. That
Yeah.
was like beating the hell out of each other was the best time of my life. There were games I won, I don't remember, and there are games I lost to you guys in the finals, and I'm trying to remember that even less, right? But for everybody listening, you have Mike Salak, and you have Ren on serve receive, and you got Elvis as the third drop in the middle. And at that level, the serve is king. Serve is the most important thing when everyone can block, everyone can hit. I'm like, what the hell am I going to do to get these guys out of system? Is there anything, and with what I had to work with, I'm like, is there anything I could do to get these guys out of system? And that was,
Serve me, I guess, is what you can.
think
Serve
about it
me
though.
might have been your best choice.
I mean, we joke around like that, right? But Mike is like, Elvis and Ren. Yeah. You know what? They got to come to me to beat me. They're going to lose. But did you feel like sometimes he handed the reins to you? Because Mike, you have this gift of dictating how fast or slow you want the pace of the game to go, and Elvis has that. Ren has that. Patrick Dietz, on a different level, has that. Bernard had that.
Yeah.
Was he always the ringleader, or did he ever kind of like say, since you're touching the ball the most, it's on you?
You know the mute? I got mute?
Yeah. I'll mute it, please.
I have it on my Bluetooth. I don't know how to change it.
That's okay.
Do you have it on?
Yeah, just don't say anything.
Mike Salak is talking now.
Go ahead, guys.
No, I lowered it.
Go ahead, Mikey.
Well, I didn't hear the end of your thought there.
The question was like he was always the ringleader, but were there any instances where you were the guy that had to touch the ball the most times anyway, that he just gave you that autonomy? We're talking from like the neck up.
Well, I guess he was like the prototype that I kind of aspired to be.
Mhm.
And I think I just got maybe just a little bit more physical than him, than he was. And that was kind of like, I don't know if he gave me the reins, but, we had like definitely a healthy competition with each other, fighting for the same spots at Empire State Games and stuff like that. And I think, for a long time I aspired to be him, and then my wrist is good like his wrist, like I always wanted that wrist,
The Queen's wrist.
yeah.
He
And if
said,
you've ever one night he took me to the tunnel after like a turn or something, and it's like the first time I ever saw his scene there. And like we went in through the back door, no problem. They let us in, all good. And like him and his friends ran the show. I mean, they just had this big circle. They all went in and flash pose, walk, dance. It was amazing.
carry it. They were carrying it.
That's right. That's what
they were
doing.
carrying on. Yep.
That's right. And don't try and mess with them, because they will slay you.
Yes, they will.
Yeah, Mike. I years ago, because listen, I know Ren from volleyball, and there's a whole other world. He's a whole other world out there. So I saw him with some of my MTV friends. It was Sunday night. I think it was a limelight. It was gay night, and so my friends went. I'm like, all right, I'll go check it out. And I ran into Ren there, and it was funny. Ren ran up to me. He's like, Shadow, what are you doing here? It's like, I was like, dude, my friend's here. He's like, I'm straight. He's like, yes, straight to bed. And ran away. He's just hysterical, dude. It was like the fact I ran into him the limelight. When he saw me at limelight on gay night, dude, his face lit up. He was the happiest dude.
Like surprise gay face. It was like
exactly.
It was like 1990s surprise gay face.
He's like, Shadow, what are you doing here, Shadow? I was like, dude, it was hysterical. It was Ren. It was awesome. It was great. It's great. It's classic.
Oh man, Mikey, is there anything you wanted to add? I got Tony Bonilla up next, and I see Corey just hit us up.
Oh man, you got some really good people on this chat. I saw a bunch of the names. So,
the 3 degrees of separation, Mike, right? Like everybody knew someone who knew Ren. Ren is our Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
Think about that. Yeah.
He's just a character, man. You know, I mean, he's definitely gonna be missed.
Yeah. Before I go to Tony, I just want to say, Mike, I noticed you're back on the scene, playing, having a good time. If at some point you wanted to go to the Manhattan Beach qualifier, I could help. I could help prepare you for that. I'm coaching out here, and that's my wheelhouse. So if you have the desire, hit me up, and I'll make sure I'll make sure you get into the main draw. You could do the rest, of course, because you're the player. But there's things I see in your game.
I thought you meant you were gonna give me tickets to watch.
Nah, you don't need. I think you should get in and play.
Nah, I'm just trying to have fun, man. I'm 50 years old right now. I definitely want to play as long as I can.
Yep.
But I don't know about competition.
I know. Yeah, dude, these young people are so good. Like last year,
they really are.
Last year, I coached Natalie Mishkowski in Manhattan Beach. We took 9th. We all the way from the qualifier, main draw, undefeated the first day. Then we ran into Kelly Chang and Molly. We got whopped, but that's kind of been my jam on the West Coast. So if you ever get an itch you can't scratch, hit me up. At least on this side, I'll be waiting. And
Appreciate it.
And I'll see you at New York City. I don't know if you're going to be at the AVP thing too. So
I'll be around for sure.
Cool, man. Oh my God, right. Tony Bonilla. Ronnie, all I'm doing is giving away everybody's age today, right? But we ain't touching this dude. This is a legend. Tony, you could unmute.
Hey, we call him Father Time for a reason.
Yes. Dude, let me tell you something. Father Time might be undefeated, but it doesn't... No, Father Time might win at the end, but he ain't undefeated. Father Time gets his behind whipped a lot. And this section is a living testament to it. Tony, you're up.
Hey, fellas, how we doing?
Hey,
first of all, Jason, thank you very much for putting this together. Just a little recap. A lot of guys mentioned some of the things I wanted to say, but I met Ren right out of high school, actually. Obviously playing in Empire State games. Him and David Betances coming into the Empire State games and things like that. In the Scholastic.
Guys, please mute your mic, guys. Tony's talking. Guys, please.
Yeah. Original, like I thought, yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
All right, so Ronnie,
So I remember.
go ahead, Tony. I'll take care of that.
Yes.
So remember, they were playing Scholastic and we were playing Open, and
Yeah,
obviously he wanted to play with us. And one of the things that about Ren is that he always, similar to Elvis, always wanted to aspire to be better all the time.
No, all those people.
And he also was observing a lot of stuff. He took in a lot of information, and that's one of the reasons why it made him such a good player. A lot of tenacity. Obviously, he's a huge competitor, and he will get in your face. Even when the competition was tough, he will always stand up and say, "No, I got this. I want to beat this guy." So even if he has the underhand, not the upper hand, he will always compete at the level to try to beat that person. So I really admire that from him. I did get a chance to play a little bit against him, but mostly with him in Creole. I think I'm probably the oldest Creole in this group here.
Yeah,
but
man.
no, a lot of great memories. And I think you mentioned something about the circles. Obviously, volleyball is a small circle, but there's a lot of sub-circle within those circles. And there's always a person that connects these circles one way or the other. So Ren was that kind of person. So he connected people with other people within the volleyball circle itself. So that's the beauty about this community. And I definitely...
Sorry, Tony, I'm here. I'm here. You still there?
Yeah.
Sorry, go
just
ahead.
a little emotional.
Yep. Yeah.
No, just a little emotional.
Yeah.
But no, thank you again, and also stay connected with each other.
Yes, sir, Tony. Yes, Coach.
Yes, sir. Tony, you stumbled onto something very, very important. Like there's certain things where, like you look at Kobe Bryant, right? When Kobe Bryant died, we were like, you can't die, you're Kobe, right? And it's the same way I felt about Ren. I'm like, Ren, some people look up to him in different ways, but at the end of the day, I always thought Ren was a superhero, and like superheroes don't die, right? Like even losing half of his superpowers with a kidney failure, he was still bulletproof. He was still fighting crime. He was still doing Ren things, and it is a reminder. And Tony, I'd like you to finish after me on this. It is a reminder, like if you haven't talked to someone in a long time, a family member, just call them. Call them, just say I love you. I love you. Say it. Say I miss you.
Life is too short, y'all. Life is too short.
Yeah, you have this finite amount of time on this planet, all right? It could be a good time or it can suck, all right? And if it sucks, you owe it to yourself to fight like hell to change it as if your life depends on it, because it really does. Tony, anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, just to conclude is the fact is that all these different circles, life gets in the way, so we kind of like separate for a little bit. But if somebody comes to mind at a particular moment, give them a call or shoot them a text.
Man,
okay?
It's messed around and cried. Corey, what's up, man? Welcome to the chat, buddy. What's up? You could unmute yourself, Corey.
What's up, y'all?
Oh man, y'all got me. I think they got you too, man.
I wasn't gonna come on here.
That's Bonilla right there, man.
Yep.
Getting us all misty.
Yeah, Kenny got me too, man. Yeah.
I wasn't gonna come on, but
I'm glad you're here because someone has to tell this man's story, right? If we don't tell his story, who's gonna remember it? We owe it to ourselves to tell a story or to tell his story.
So how long have y'all known Ren? Like,
guys, shout out a year. Shout out a year. The year you met Ren. I'll go 1994. Anyone could just shout and chime in. Then I'm gonna go back to Corey. What year?
93.
I think
93 for
97,
Ronnie.
98.
97. Cool.
88,
Yep.
maybe.
87, 88, Xavier. Yeah.
89.
Mike
90, yeah.
89. Yep. All right, back to you, Corey.
So I'm asking because I can't remember where I met Ren. I don't know where I met him. I don't know if it was Riverbank or the gay league. I really don't know, but all I remember is from like 88, 89. We were together so much. We would go to my house, and I don't know if y'all remember this. Do y'all remember the 4-man pro league that came on TV, on
Yes.
Prime TV?
Yep.
We would sit in my house with little Jose and just watch tape. I would record it. He would just come over and watch it, and then we would go to Riverbank. And then he was the worst teacher I've ever had. Corey, no, what are you doing? No, what's this hand? What is this leg up here? When you're passing? What is this leg up? Don't do. I'm like, man, it just gets on you, right?
Yep.
And I've known him for so long, and then we would go pick up Dave in the basement in the Bronx. He was one of the first people that saw my firstborn. Like, we were together a lot.
Yeah.
And I saw him like 2 years ago. I would go to the dentist. I would purposely go to the dentist around his house, and he would come and meet me and sit with me at the dentist or the eye doctor by his house, by Yankee Stadium, and we would sit and we would talk. And it's a lot.
Yeah. When you played against him at Riverbank, did you play with him or against him the first time you played?
I played with him. I played against him. And then what he later told me is he invited me to play for Creole, me and Hervé. We were the two scrubs on the team. And what he said he wanted to do, and I don't know if it's true or not, but this is like 90 something. He wanted an all black team to play in MIT, or was it Harvard? It was MIT. And we all wrote, Ronnie, you remember that, right?
Yeah. Wow. Think about that.
And it was it was like Steve, Long, Ronnie, Hervé. It was like an all black team that he wanted to get everyone together and do that.
That includes Mike then, right? Yeah.
Mike wasn't on the team at that. He didn't go to his tournament. I'm not saying he wasn't on the team, but it was literally an all black Creole team that he wanted to do.
Okay, like a classic Creole team. That's cool. Yeah.
He did that, yeah. But I mean, it's just sad. I know he's going through a lot. It was just sad. So
I do remember you playing doubles against him a year ago, and there was a part of you that was glad to beat him, but there was I suspect there was also a part of you that was like sad about that, because
the deterioration was a lot to see.
Right.
And I still have that video of me just beating him, and I was like, this is not the Ren of old, and it was just sad.
Yeah, it's like you feel good, and then you're like, no, I don't. You know, like I remember I played against him and Dave Betances. Like this is like a month after dialysis, because that's what Ren Kenny does. Kenny said like he has a kidney failure, he comes to the park. He has kidney surgery, and he's in the park trying to play. And I remember
that was the one time that Corey beat him and posted it online.
Yeah,
that was the only time he could.
You know what's funny though is I didn't post it.
No, someone else did.
Someone else posted me busting his ass. You know, I have the video. Do you realize, he beat me for 30 years straight. 30 years. I could never beat Ren. And we played together a lot, but I would never. So I was like, I'm gonna give it to you. But it was bittersweet, like you said, Jay.
Let me tell you something. Let's say you had a rat in your house, okay, guys? So hold on one sec. Let's say you had a rat in your house and you can't get rid of the rat. And finally the rat is in this condition where you can finally get rid of him. You take a bat and you bash that little rat head. And after he's dead, you hit it 5 more times because the adrenaline is still pumping. That's probably kind of how it felt. Sorry, it was who was talking before? Mike? Sorry. Burn? Okay.
Yeah, I was just saying that I feel like he used volleyball as just a way to battle his ailments, So this sport has done a lot for all of us, but it's yeah.
But I love that you said that. I'm gonna actually do like a 30-second tribute video for Ren. But Corey, I know you're still reflecting, and I'm really glad you came on, Corey, because you have to understand that Ren was a 3 degrees of separation from people that played beach, indoor, every level. Like Mike and Ronnie got a story to tell, right? They spent time with Ren on a different level. Maybe Ronnie a little bit before. The Black Sheep, me, Burn, Eugene, we spent time with him on a different level. You did, Neno, Tony Bonilla, of course. Tony Bonilla, like. And even the guys that learned under Tony, you got Shadow, you got Sky, right? Leandro, Neno. I'm glad you came because it doesn't feel complete unless everybody came on. Like we got Claudia here, like she's not like an open player, but she's here. And Ren played with everybody. So I'm glad you showed up because I don't want people to be like, oh, I don't want to tell a story, and then you miss the chance to tell a story. We're not going to miss his chance to tell his story. Right. The funeral, we're going to let him mourn, but right now we're gonna celebrate. We're gonna cry a little bit, but I wanted to take this time. We owed it to him. This is what he wanted. We wanted to celebrate his life. So Corey, anything you wanted to add to that? Sorry, I didn't mean to go off on a tangent. But I'm glad you're here.
Yes. So
just so y'all don't know, me and Corey were like high school to high school next to each other. We known each other way before we went to Central Park.
MLK and LaGuardia.
Exactly.
Okay. That's cool, dude.
Yeah, that was. It's not related to Ren, but it was like 87, and I was just happy to see another brown person that was African American on the other side of the net. I was like, oh, because it wasn't a lot of us.
Yeah.
Damn. I was born in 87.
Wow. Yeah.
Dude, who's that tadpole talking? Are you walking yet?
The tadpole.
I changed my diapers before jumping in this call. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. Wait, hold on. I got a little. You got a little breast milk still on your mouth over there on the side of your mouth.
Breast milk.
And y'all say I'm bad, right? Look at this guy.
Guys, we got
Jason.
Yes, sir.
I see that George Cassius is there. Did he speak yet?
100%. Him and Rose are there, and they go way back. We're talking Eastern Athletic Club. We're talking late 80s, early 90s.
That's another circle right there.
Yes, right? Look at the turnout, Mikey. Look at the turnout. We got the Godfathers. We got the G's. We got the tough Jew from Brooklyn. We got the Dominicans from Uptown. We got the Psychic Blood Brothers from Harlem. We got Tony Bonilla. That's everybody. We got the ballers who bring chips and buy mojitos, frozen mojitos, which, by the way, Ren doesn't drink. My friend Wendy Jones 3 years ago came from California and she couldn't stop looking at him. She's like, this is one of the most amazing human beings I ever met. And Ren treated her like he knew her for years. And she only came to New York for one day. And she's actually listening right now. She's like, what an amazing human being. I've never seen anything like him. And I speak for all of us on that. So guys, bear with me. I'm going to do a little 30-second clip. I got some Ren highlights. I put it together the best way I know how. And here we go. Let's do camera 2. All right, sorry. It'll be there in a minute. Sorry, wrong guy, but Ren's next.
Did Tony leave? Because I have a question for him. He's the only one who could clarify on this
Yeah, go ahead.
on this
You
chat.
could ask him now. I'll turn down the volume.
But Tony, do you remember a tournament we played against you? It was Elvis and Ren. Ren was sick the whole time, and Elvis was just, you know how Elvis is, man, brutal, just talking trash to Ren. But we were on the same team. But at the finals, we needed him. Like he had to sub in, and I sat down. He came in, and it was just like the last 3 points, and he just blocked this one guy who had a very luxurious hair, but blocked him twice and hit a ball for game, and then sat back down and grabbed the stomach. Do you remember who that was against? Because
You
it was
say that
against your team.
I was playing against my team?
Yeah, it was against your team.
Luxurious hair, you say?
Luxurious hair.
I mean, it wasn't me.
Who was the guy to coach newcomers? Mike, who was the guy to coach newcomers? It might have been him. Was it Kurt?
Oh, Kurt Fernandez? Nah, I don't think so. Kurt would have been
No.
on the Creole team probably.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've always played for Creole, so I'm not sure what team we were playing.
Interesting.
But there was it was the last 3 points, and like I said, he has been sitting down. He played a couple of games in the beginning of the tournament, but then once we got to the finals, we were losing. We were down by like one point. It was like point game for the team, and Elvis was like, "Get your up, we need you," and put him on the outside. And Ren blocked this guy once, and
Just
then
like
another one
bodied
twice.
him. Yeah.
And then
Do you remember the team that I was playing for? Was it Creole or another team?
I think it was Creole. I think it was us against Creole.
Yeah.
We had this big guy named Jason from Jersey. White dudes, like 6'6".
Oh, so you were on hustling flow then.
Yeah.
That must have been hustling flow versus Creole.
So I had to sit down that one because we needed Ren, right?
Wait, you were playing outside?
No, I was playing the middle, and somehow
He came in to play
for
middle?
me and pushed outside and shut down that opposite.
Dude,
and we went crazy. I think it was like 1,000.
I think what was that guy's name? He went to Vassar College, I think.
Brent Starks. No,
not Brent Starks.
Beninsky?
Tully. Full Tully.
Matt Beninsky.
Matt Skininski, yeah.
Matt
Beninsky.
Yep.
I think it was Matt.
Yeah.
That was crazy. I've never seen anything like that. To be sick the whole time and have Elvis, of all people, just make every joke, and Ren was taking it and holding his stomach and you had too much last night and whatever.
And Jason, you asked the question, who do you serve, Ren, Elvis, or Mike Salak? You serve between Elvis and Ren. Let them fight for it.
Yes.
That's how you get them out of the system.
Yes. Look, for me, the only games I won against them was I get a few plays, and eventually Elvis and Mike and whatever, they look at the middles, they look at each other, right? So if they're squabbling with each other, that's none of my business. What I don't want to do is say something across the net that's going to make them put their differences aside and say, screw this guy. We're back. We're winning. So the only sets I won against them, I think there was only once I won 2 out of 3, but I would always take a set from them, except the finals. And the sets that I won from them, I'm like, all right, they got some stuff they need to work out. And I tell Eugene and I told Kenny, I'm like, that's none of our business. Let them, Justin, Patrick Dietz, let them work that out. And we're going to sneak in this set, and that was the best. Letting a sleeping tiger lie was the way to go. Go ahead, Corey.
I have a question. Because Ren would tell me about this, and I've never seen it. Does anyone have footage of when they played in the open tournament where it was, where they won? It was like the first East Coast team to win nationals. Does anyone have footage of that?
It's 92.
He wasn't on that team until the following year.
Right.
Bonilla, were you on that team?
I was on that team, yeah.
Yeah.
So
was Rudy and Greg too?
No.
Okay.
It was
David Jack.
No.
No,
This is what Carpierre,
Yeah.
Popos,
Yeah.
Scott Miller,
Different.
David Muir,
Yeah.
Elvis,
David Muir is Penn State.
myself,
Yeah.
myself, Rudy,
Yeah.
and
Greg's brother,
the
Rudy.
dentist. The dentist, what's his name?
The dentist.
Yeah, he's Haitian.
God, what was his name? I know who you're talking about. Oh, Jesus.
Rum.
Yeah.
Romulus?
No,
that's
no, Rom, not Romulus.
I think it's Ron.
Yeah.
He's Haitian. He's a dentist. He's in the West Coast somewhere, or Seattle.
Yeah.
And then
It's for Ren.
Ron, yeah. And the last guy was a guy from Albany, New York. He was just a bench player, basically, a filler.
Nice. Yep.
Yeah.
So
So
is
that
there
was
any
the team,
footage
basically.
from that time? And
I
the year that
have.
Ren played?
I don't know about the year that Ren played. Ren came in with David Jack. David Jack came the following year, and then so on and so on. But that particular year, that was the team.
Yeah. You guys, Crail became bi-coastal when they won that. Like David, I live in California, and whenever I tell people I'm from New York, they're like, "Oh, do you know David Jack?" And I'm like, "No, I never met him personally, but I hear the name all the time, you know." And that was, yeah. And Crail was one of those teams when they came to the tournament. It's like, all right, which bracket are they in? You know, like, oh, geez, here comes trouble. So, Mike,
everybody always wanted to see us play because we had these freaking just high flyers and we were just doing some cool stuff. It was a lot of fun playing with those guys, man. I learned so much. You know, that's where it is. New York City volleyball right there, Creole.
Yeah. And Mike, moreover, though, unicorns. Like, again, as coaches, we teach our kids, like, you want to be emotionally high, but not too high because the big waves crash. You want, in essence, you want smaller waves that go from Manhattan Pier to Hermosa. But you guys were unicorns. You could start, there were players on your teams that would start high and stay high. I'm like, for those guys, we need to take them to the lab and like a frog, like dissect them, try to understand how that actually works. Like it was a very unique squad at the right time. It was a perfect storm, Mike, you know? Yep. So I'd like to land, I want to make sure I got everybody that wanted to talk. I know Igor's here, but I know Igor didn't want to talk.
Jay, I wanted to say something.
Burn, go ahead.
Just real quick. So in Central Park, those of y'all think I always trash talk like Ren when I go there and mess with him all the time. That was our thing. We did that on purpose to each other. That's our way of saying how we greet each other when I start trolling him and he trolls me back and we go back and forth. But he always come up to me, he goes, "I love it when they think that we're fighting with each other." And I was like, "Oh, just shut up and just keep going."
We are fighting with each other, you jerk.
No, but we weren't though. But I just love messing with him, man. And oh man, I'm gonna miss that.
I'd actually, let's go ahead. Who's up? Sorry.
I mean, one last thing. Right before I met Ren after, when he had his issues, not, much younger than a lot of you people, even though I'm almost 40 right now. The last time I played with him was right before I moved to Florida about 2.5 years ago. And I remember that it took him about 30 minutes just to walk from the train station all the way to the courts because his leg was getting swollen and he couldn't walk that much.
I remember that.
Yeah, and he used to text me like, "Sad, we have to play. Go there, get in line." And the reason why he wanted to play with me was because I was able to I'm a setter by nature, so I was able to set him right exactly where he wanted it. And even at his worst, he could only do literally a radius of with a step back, forward, to the left and right. And even at that point, he was still kicking at, and people were not serving him because he used to do the same thing, even with all the problems that he was having. And even though he couldn't walk, he was still that mentality, even at his worst, was still there. It kind of, it's good. What I'm gonna say is gonna sound bad. It was like you were able to see a shell of a man that once was, but at the same time, his attitude never changed. He's like the way he played, even though he couldn't do it, he was still doing it and adjusting, even though he couldn't walk not walk, but play to a certain extent. I was kind of happy to see him play because he was out for a few years. But then again, I was also saddened at the fact that, like it was coming, So
Yeah, I think what you're trying to say is though the body was deteriorating, like the man's heart and his soul,
yeah,
his light shine regardless. To quote the
yeah,
movie,
correct.
to quote the movie The Shawshank Redemption, there are some birds' wings that are too shiny to be caged. They're just,
Yeah,
and that was
correct.
him. I'd like to land by just finishing my just one story of myself with Ren, which I regard highly as a service to humanity. In Central Park, it's the Hard Tops. It's the first time I met this guy, Josh Lyons, right? Josh is playing with Justin. Josh is playing with Justin Stack, right? They play for Humanities High School. Around the same time, Mike played for Midwood. So, Mike, you could draw the timeline so you know the people, so you might know the story. And Ren is playing with Cohen Ung, Chinese guy. So we're talking about Central Park people, right? And little Josh gets a block on Ren, screams at him, "I own you! I own you!" And
No way.
Ren just goes, again, 90s surprise gay face, right?
This is on the blacktop?
Yes, the blacktop. This is before the first sand court. This is all blacktop.
Yeah.
And Ren goes, "Sorry, who are you? Who are you?" Right? And Josh says, "I'm your mother. I'm your father. I'm everything." And he goes, "Okay."
No, he didn't.
And Ren goes, I thought Ren was just going to shout back at him. Ren just looks at him and gives him like a 3-second olive branch to say, "My bad," or "just playing." Like 3 whole seconds of silence to like, and Ren says, and then he just goes, "Okay." So the next play, Justin's blocking line. Ren hits cross court, hits him in the shoulder.
Set me the ball. Set me the ball.
Hits him in the shoulder. The next play, Ren gets a dig. Open net. Josh hits open net. Ren digs. He goes lollipop, lollipop. And then Justin blocks cross. Josh is hitting line. He hits him in the other shoulder. Left shoulder, right shoulder. So he's already six-packed him twice, right? So the third play, Justin's blocking cross, and I think Josh was playing cross behind him. I thought he was supposed to play line, but changed his mind. Ren goes over the top and now hits him in the side of the face. And in other words, Justin was blocking in front of him. He just went over Justin and hit Josh a third time. And then he walked away. He goes, "No place to run, no place to hide." And I was laughing because the third time he hit him, I thought that's exactly what Josh was doing. Josh was hiding. Josh had enough. And he's like, if I hide behind the block, he ain't gonna hit me again. And when Ren hit him a third time, and this time, like here, the neck or whatever, he said, "No place to run, no place to hide." And that's my story, which I at the time affectionately referred to as a service to humanity. Like, we all had our qualms with this guy, and like, he steps under the net and he's like trying to pick fights with everybody. And you just wish someone would just smack him and make him re-examine his game. And thank you, Ren. God bless you for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's all I got. If there's anyone in the comment section that wanted to say something before we got out, Igor, I'll give you one more chance if you want. If you're you
Which
feel
Igor is
compelled.
that?
Igor lives in California.
Which Igor? Kenshin?
Igor, heavy set Igor that moved to California, not Ihor.
Wow.
Right. Yeah.
You're gonna come in like that, Jason? Heavyset guy?
Go ahead and show your face and remove all doubt.
Eagle. Oh, that Eagle.
Just kidding.
Thank you. I'm so glad. Look, there's a lot of people that were squeamish about doing this because social media is not their thing, but I'm glad you did this because, like I just told Corey, if no one's there to tell their story, right? Like, if let's assume Achilles was real from the movie Troy. If no one tells his story, Achilles doesn't exist. Ren exists, and we have to tell his story.
I gotta be honest. This was a little bit. I'm not good at public speaking or just speaking publicly.
Yeah.
But the one thing that I realized that Ren was amazing. Obviously I was not on the same level as most of the folks here. Probably was a scrub.
Who
You can ask
was?
Zach about it.
Mhm.
But knowing, and not to take the focus away, but what happened with Lucas Leshak, and kind of haven't had a chance to say anything to his passing, and Ren was a wonderful soul to me.
Wow.
I first saw him at Central Park. I came there with Justin Stack, with Zach. Didn't get a chance to get on the court. It's fine. Got to look. And the first official hello from him was, we're playing in Urban. He smashed the ball. I picked it up. He kind of looked at me and goes, okay, you got lucky. The second time he smashed the ball, picked it up again, and he's like, okay, we'll talk. And since then, he was nothing but amazing to me. So anytime people said that he talked trash, I never saw it. And Zach probably remembers from our Salem tournament at Hunter, I used to talk a lot of trash. I remember I almost got a yellow card because I was talking trash to the parents of the kid that we were playing against. And he's been nothing but nice. Yeah. I remember I turned around, told him that their son tried really hard, but made him look like a bit. Don't know how I didn't get kicked off the court, but he got me interested in doing more with my game and then playing. And anytime I was at a tournament, NAGVA or cash tournament with the Russians, if I was able to weasel my way out from reffing and I was able to go watch a swing, it was like going to the Met and sitting and looking at the Mandata painting by himself, because that swing there was nothing else like it.
I like how you said that, because you cannot go to Central Park for 5 years or a decade and still know that it existed. Like guys like Byrne, Kenny, or whatever. Ren was the one that spearheaded that. And again, the degrees of separation is what brought us all together. If you look at this chat, like Igor, you'll see Mike, who plays at a certain level. You see Corey, who plays at a certain level, Bernard. Then you see Claudia, right? And you'll see Janette Luna, right? These are not open level players. This is Ren's legacy. Ren played with everybody. Ren didn't care about your skill set. I know there was a time to be Ren and there was a time to be the queen. And there are some players that are like, no, I don't want to waste my time playing with that guy. I'm not, nope, don't want to do it. Not my level, not my tournament, not interested. I've been that guy for for a 15-year period. I'm not interested. I'm trying to level up, not level down. Ren was not that guy. Ren would play with everybody. And that's what made him special. And this is what I'd like to remember about him, guys.
I don't understand it, because Central Park is not the same no more. And I don't know why his monkey went back over there and played and, with certain people. Because he would tell me, oh, this person's not that good. And I turned and looked at him and said, so Ren, why the hell are you playing with him then?
Yeah. Well, Ren was honest. Burn, me and you played with people that we didn't think were good. And the difference between us and Ren was Ren told you to your face. There's some guys where I'm like, I'm playing with this guy and maybe I had a good time, but I go home, I'll be like, man, I do not want to play with this dude. This dude he's not that good right now. Or like chemistry wise, I just don't want to play with this guy. At least the difference between us and Ren was Ren had the audacity to say it to your face. And though it's not a likable thing to happen, I got to respect that.
Guys, real quick, I have to go. But one thing that just came to mind is one of the things that I never questioned Ren about was every time we were making a team, either for reverse square or indoors when we were playing indoors at the time, is his ability to judge a player. And if he tells you he's good, I would never secondhand. I would never be like, are you sure? I would never. Like, Ren was such a... And even if he could see like shiny players or like people who just bounce the ball, he would be like, no, he's not good. And once you get that comfortable, not comfortable, like confidence of getting the feedback from Ren, from like, okay, who's who, and or if you're looking for players, if he tells you a name, you never question it. Like, I never had that issue with him.
Yeah.
He was such a good judge of like not character but like skills.
Yes. The other cool thing is. Go ahead. Sorry.
And sorry, just to add on to that, when I came back to the park in 2022, I saw Ren. I spoke to Ren, and guess who he said is hands down the best, most complete player in Central Park at that time? Who do you think he said?
Me.
He said this person, huh?
Igor.
What year?
Of course.
What year?
Igor.
What year? 2022. He said this person will bust your ass. He said this person is the best player out there and the most complete player I know. Guess who he told me it was? And I didn't know.
That's good. That's a good one.
Say do. I don't know.
Nope.
They do.
Not in 22.
2022. It was
The
you,
Russian
Zach.
rocket.
It was who?
Oh,
Sorry.
Zach.
It was Zach.
It was Zacarias. Yep.
Yes.
Awesome.
He
Love
told
that.
me. And I said, who? How do you pronounce that? He said, ooh, child, Zach will bust your ass. That's what he said to me.
He's
Zach.
not
Just
wrong.
so you know.
Zach,
That's
he's
how much
right.
respect. He said you were as equal to him in skill level.
I love
He
that.
said that.
Yeah.
So I initially was like, oh,
Zach.
Wait a minute. So he put Zach along with him. So he's saying that Zach was an ass too. Come on now.
No.
Zach was a little bit of that.
he said skill. He definitely said skill wise.
Yes.
He was like,
He said skill wise.
And it did say 2020.
You know, I'm sorry. I just thought, no.
Zach, I'm glad. I can't think.
Zach, Ren gets the gold medal for that.
Can't think of a
There's
better
no
person.
one more Napoleon than him.
Napoleon. Is he from that country?
Exactly.
Yeah, but Zach, I can't think of a better person to pass the skill set torch to. Your skill set is tight, man. Your skill set is tight. You got guys at Wapaka still talking about grass threes, you know, when you play Elnis Palomino and stuff like that. So, you know, for all of you guys, keep doing what you're doing, man. You know?
Yeah, and
Like
I'm not,
height,
I'm not,
like skill
and I'm not
ratio, you know? Like being 5'3", man, and being able to play the way
5'3". What the?
I remember coaching against Zach when he was in high school.
Listen, I was there when Ronnie and Mike Sala was playing. I mean, of course, they were always like I always look up to those guys. I remember one time where, which is not a great memory, but I remember seeing you lose Mike Sala at the Empire State Games, and you cry like a child because you got blocked at the end. But you only got blocked like less than a handful of times but the last one you got blocked and you were crying like a baby. And then at that moment, I was like, damn, man, that guy must love volleyball because a grown ass man crying, and you were, I mean, you're still amazing, but like at your prime, you were like unstoppable. And then the same year is when because I was a setter back in high school, is when Ronnie blocked. I don't know. I think it was I forgot the name. I forgot the name of the region. It wasn't Long Island. It was up northeast, and it's not. He blocked this dude on the outside. He takes his short, and on the bottom says, "If you get blocked by me, you should have been playing at this level."
Yes, probably the best yellow card ever, dude.
Ronnie had the uncanny ability to block the biggest dude on the other side of the court at least once, maybe more.
Well, Ronnie was.
It's a retired shirt, man. The shirt's retired, my man.
Yes, Ronnie.
Ronnie, what was exactly the shirt said? Because I think that's what he said.
If you got blocked by me, you shouldn't
what
play.
he said. Yeah, I actually got it. I got it as a gift from Tariq. I was part of his wedding party, and he's the one that actually gave it to me. I didn't make that one, so I can't take credit for it.
Ronnie,
yeah, that's what pretty much what he said. If you get blocked, you don't belong at this level.
See, I remember this, because I was right there watching the whole game, and that was amazing times.
Ronnie would show you the top of the tape. Ronnie would show you the top of the tape, right? And like the outside hitter who's scanning the court is like, oh, I got this. I'm just going to go over the top. And Ronnie would wait as long as he could. And he had such a good jump. Because big guys, you can see it coming because in your peripheral vision, you could see the head and you could see the hands up. But Ronnie would dip down. So he's already shorter, right? But he would dip down and all you'd see is the top of the tape. And then when you went to swing, all you saw was flying dreadlocks, right? And that was his secret. He was on that ghost face. Right. He was on that ghost face, now you see me, now you don't type stuff. Listen, I appreciated that.
Ronnie walked with the biggest swag, man. He walked like he was a center stage, man.
Yep.
Like always, I don't know.
The only one that had better swag than Ronnie was the Queen's walk. Yes. Was the Queen.
Oh yeah.
When Ren walked on the court, like just enough Queen for you to know he was a Queen, but just enough of a presence where you're like, who does this guy think he is? Or for the guys that know him, be like, okay. What kind of problem is he? He's going to be a problem. Is he going to be a big problem today? Is he going to be an okay problem? What kind of problem is Ren going to be? Go ahead, Mike.
I just remembered a little story. I don't know. Him and I played a grass tournament once, and he didn't. He either didn't have shorts for some reason. Maybe he came straight from the club. I don't know. But so I had extra shorts, and I'm like, "Yo, these are my favorite shorts, man. If I let you, wear them, you gotta make sure you give them back." He's like, "All right, no problem." He put them things on. He was like, "Yo, these are nice." He's like, "You ain't getting these back." So maybe not get them back because he still has them. I asked him for them like every time I saw him for like a while, and then I just gave up. But man, took my shorts.
Yeah.
They were like red sand. You remember those red sand? That
Yes, Steve Timmons. Yeah, the red sand shorts.
Exactly, Timmons.
Those are hot, man.
Yeah,
dude, those shorts are hot.
And they weren't cheap.
But Ren would house your gear. And how many of you guys got your gear housed by Ren? I have I was John Mayer's assistant at LMU. I had a pullover, and I brought it to the park. I came to Central Park to say what's up to y'all, and Ren was like, "Nice." And you know what I did? I just got up and gave it to him. I'm like, "Here, I'm not, I'm not gonna have you like hoodwink me into giving it to you. We ain't gotta have that conversation. I know you.
But it wasn't. It wasn't just
it.
relegated.
Yes.
But JD,
Yeah.
it wasn't just relegated to clothes. My man, love him to death. He was the ball thief of all time. Every tournament, we'd be in power zone. He'd be like, "I'm gonna take this ball." I'm like, "What are you doing?" He's taking balls all the time. Writing the names, changing the name.
Yeah.
Ball klepto.
Yo, Byrne came up to me one time in Central Park, and he likes to yell at Ren or whatever, but he was very, very calm, and his ball was missing. And he comes up to me, he says, "I think Ren took my ball." It was the nicest way I've ever seen Bernard put it, because Bernard, he's another guy that's not scared to express himself. But he comes up to me, and the park bench. Remember the bench we used to be able to sit on the hardtop? He sat next to me. He says, "I think Ren took my ball." And I just started laughing. He had this look like, "Do you see me laughing?" It was just so hilarious. But you're right.
You gotta see
that's
the
a good
face
call,
I
Mike.
made. The face I made. I looked around, and I took a quick glance, and he was over by the famous tree near the fountain.
Right.
So he was holding onto a ball, and I was like, "I know this mother didn't take my ball." So I turned to Jay. I was like, "I think he took my ball."
And I started laughing, and Byrne just had this look like that's not what's the joke? What's the joke? That's not funny. But Mike, I'm glad that was a good call. I'm glad you brought that up, because he was our favorite little thief, and he stole my heart, man, and he stole my heart, and he stole all of our hearts, guys. We're gonna wrap up now, but like Mike said, I just want to know I love every one of you. I'm gonna be in New York in July. I'm gonna probably just visit his grave. I'm gonna drop some shorts off on his grave.
Jay, I want to say something real quick.
Please, Byrne, spit.
If we're gonna do things like that, let's get everybody else together like this again, man. Not just because somebody passed away. Let's just do this on the fun side too.
I would, and I think it'd be Ren did the difficult part. He got guys all in the same room that I thought we would never. I would never have all of you in the same room. I just thought some guys are like, "No, I don't want to do this on Zoom or whatever." And all of you guys, Mike, Corey, George, Cassius, Ronnie,
the volleyball players, people together.
All of you guys that picked up the phone or picked up Zoom and said yes. I am flattered and I am amazed, because I never thought in my wildest dreams all of these various people would all be in the same room together. And Mike, it's like you said before, if you have a friend you haven't talked to in a minute, and maybe you had a beef, or maybe you guys just grew apart and you're thinking about them. If you're thinking about them, just pick up the phone, say, "Hey, I love you, man. I love you and I miss you." And because Michael, I think like what you said, Mikey, life is too short, my friend. Anybody else before we leave?
Very nice to see all you guys. And obviously I would love to see all of you as soon as possible, but it's just good to see your faces, good to hear your voices. Sorry that it took this to bring us together, but we always gonna see each other, because we're always trying to chase it and still play this game that brings us all together. So I love this sport because I meet people like you guys. That's why I love volleyball, right?
Amen.
You build these relationships lifelong. So It's good to see you, everybody, and have a good. Anybody finds out any details about like services, hopefully you'll post because I definitely want to show my love.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, all right. So for all of you watching the live stream, I see you in the comment section. We could read the comments later because I got to bounce up out of here. I believe it or not.
Jason, thank you, man.
I actually have to coach. I took the year off from coaching, but I promised somebody a private lesson. I got Burn, Shadow, Kenny, Mike, Eugene, Eder, Rose, George, Igor, Claudia, Xavier, Luna, Phil, Ronnie. God bless you. Love you guys to pieces. I'm Jason DeBias. We're out.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Come check out the Option Podcast on optionvb.com. It's also available on iTunes and Spotify and on YouTube under the NYVarsity Sports handle. You're going to love what you hear.